Yo, welcome to Smack Talk. This is DMOB, D-Mob right here, right now. What you call it, Zach can't be here, so I'm filling in for him. But we got the two originals still here, Joe and AK. And then we got a special guest today.
First timer.
Swelly Peterman.
Swelly!
Y'all call him
Peterman.
that, but I call him West Best.
West Best, Swelly, Swell Air, Swelly Peterman, whatever you want to call him. Anything with swell or air in it.
But, yo, welcome, Wes.
Appreciate
You call it? We're coming back from the MLB's All-Star, coming back from there right now. What y'all think about that? What y'all think about the All-Stars, home run derby and everything?
I mean, it's all right.
It was exciting. It was
Yeah.
exciting game, exciting home run derby.
Yeah.
We got cheated.
Sure, we got cheated.
Yeah, they did cheat. I'm not.
Bryce with the home field advantage.
And his pops all juiced up.
Looking younger than him.
I will say it was pretty exciting when it came down to those two. I was kind of hoping for Javi Baez and Schwarber at the end. I knew Javi wasn't gonna make it, but I was just pushing to
We had a tough time.
you know. I honestly didn't think
It was-
Schwarber was gonna make it. When I saw him, I was like, all right,
It is
bet.
what it is. though.
Schwarber was
All-star
kind of
break.
built for that moment.
Yeah,
though.
he was.
Yeah.
As far as
I think he
hitting
wanted
homers.
it. I think he wanted it and
Yeah.
everything.
His swing every time could go over the fence.
Right.
Bryce could have that one though. He can come to the north side next year. Be okay.
Hey, that's why he did it. Hey, he said,
He's like, when he shook him, he said, "I'll see y'all
I
next
see you
year."
next year. I see
The
y'all. I'm
All-Star
saying.
game was actually a tad bit exciting though.
Yo, I need to know. Maybe y'all can answer this. Is it still like if whoever wins the? Oh, okay,
This is
then
the second year.
that's
Yeah,
been
it's
like that.
Yeah, thankfully they changed that.
So how's that work? Just whoever's that the best
Better
record.
record.
best record
Alright,
now?
cool.
It's just like every other sport was, and they were the only
I don't know
one
why.
to actually do it like that.
Yeah.
It was still competitive. I watched it too and everything. But let's jump into since we're at like the pretty much half point of the season and everything. Who do y'all think is the AL and NL Cy Young right now? Who's the guy that's in front?
Go ahead, Wes.
National League, I think Scherzer. I like Scherzer. You know what I'm saying? Stat wise, a lot of innings pitched, strikeouts. I feel like every time he get on the mound, he's gonna win or give his team a chance to win.
AK.
I got DeGrom. He's first in WAR. he's first in WAR, first in ERA. I mean, he's second in strikeouts behind Scherzer, which Scherzer's got like 180. I think something like that.
I want to say it was like 155.
Oh, okay.
145.
Oh, maybe it's Sale has 188. I'm sorry. But he's second in strikeouts, and I mean, he's the only shining star on that terrible Mets team, you know. And so I mean, I feel he deserves it. I mean, his ERA is 1.68. I mean, I don't know who's had that low of an ERA that I can remember in a while. I mean, but so I mean, in all reality, it's a toss up between Scherzer and DeGrom though, because. And that's the thing. I wrote one person because if I put two down, then I go back and forth. So I picked one and just rolled with it. So I got DeGrom, but easily it could be Scherzer.
I mean, like you said, it's a toss up. I'm going with Scherzer just because. I mean, 12-5 for a team that doesn't win that many games is impressive.
But you can't base it off a win though, off of wins because that's not necessarily always their fault. Because if that's his case, then DeGrom shouldn't be in there. I mean, he doesn't have a lot of wins. Sorry, Joe. Go ahead.
I mean, whatever, man.
I'm just saying, though, you can't base it off of wins, though, because you could have a great team behind you, and your ERA could still be in the fours and still have wins.
Yeah.
So that's why I didn't include the ERA in the sense of, the wins in the sense of that.
Okay.
The reason why I like the win perspective of it is because when you dominate and you're a dominating pitcher, you can still come out and shut a team down. So if your team could give you 1 run or 2 runs, like you say, it's not always your fault, but I kind of feel like the best pitcher will win every time they hit the mound.
Like Chris Sale to that when he was with the White Sox.
Yeah, he was
Shut him out. You
literally.
can't give me 1 run.
Yeah,
son.
there's plenty of times like that you know what I'm saying. There's pitchers that are in the low 2s and still only have 6-7 wins and 6 losses. You know, that's not always necessarily that fault. I mean, I'm not taking away from Scherzer by any means because he's still winning and that team's not that good this year, not as dominant as they were. But I just don't include the wins into it.
But it goes like I'm just going back. I don't touch MLB that much, but I know it's like who's the pitcher for Houston now? Verlander.
Verlander or Garrett Cole? Which one?
Verlander.
Okay.
Like, he used to be with Detroit.
Yeah,
He would be pitching his ass off, and then,
yeah.
his team wasn't there to back him up. But once he got to Houston, you see him, like,
Yeah, they had a
still
couple
doing his
decent
thing.
years in Detroit when Miggy was hitting the ball, and they had a decent little team. But yeah, he's a good example of it.
So y'all think he's not gonna get traded or anything like that, right?
Who?
Who you
DeGrom?
talking about? Yeah.
I want him to.
You want him to?
I want him to go to the Yankees. Damn it! What are you talking about? But I don't think they would ever send him across the way, just because it's kind of. Well, they sent Quintana, but the White Sox were desperate at that point in time, so they made that.
Made that move.
Aren't the Mets desperate though too, in the same sense of?
They are, but I think
not that desperate.
They are, but I don't know about that. Giving it up to the Yankees, like.
They ain't giving them those nothing.
It's a business decision.
It is. So I mean, it is possible, but
if you know you're gonna be bad for a couple years, you know what I'm saying.
Just
You
take
need
it.
prospects.
yeah,
It kind of be like you can't be greedy in that sense.
To win, he ain't gonna be there or relevant.
and they got Syndergaard or whatever his name. I forgot how you pronounce his last name, but he's hurt right now. But I mean, they look at it as they got those two guys that are gonna lead them, but in all reality, their ship sank when they came against you guys, right? Since then, what have they done?
Nothing.
So it's like.
Yeah, they kicked our ass though.
You know what I'm saying? though? That was their moment. And just so I mean, they might get rid of him, but they're probably going to ask entirely too much. They're going to want Gleyber from the Yankees, or they want our third baseman. And I'm not ready to give them up. They're young. They're Miggy's 22 and Gleyber's what 21, 21 years old. At that point in time, we could wait for our pitchers to come up. But yeah, so he might go somewhere.
What you call it? So it was actually AL?
No, that's NL.
NL?
DeGrom is mine. Joe's got Scherzer. And West got Scherzer.
Oh, okay then.
Another thing I was thinking about was injuries. Without injuries and everything, if you factor it in, it's still a lot of games to be played.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That was a big thing I was thinking about throughout these. You know what I'm saying? Picking these mid-season awards was injuries, because you never know with the second half if somebody come back healthy,
of course,
or if somebody get hurt.
Yeah, anything can happen.
Yeah, but if it ended today, I'd definitely, obviously rock with that. But yeah, long term, I mean, for somebody to pitch that great on a terrible team, eventually it gets tough because the losing comes, and that shit. I don't care who you are. If you're a competitor, that losing is gonna get to your head.
Yeah,
and you might start slacking. Scherzer, if they continue to win and they're fighting for the division, and DeGrom and them are completely out of it.
Right.
So, you know what I'm saying? The chances of him pitching longer, and he's been a GOAT for a minute.
Yeah. How old is he?
He started off in Detroit. He was Detroit in there with Verlander.
Oh, okay.
That was their little 1-2 punch, but that was when Scherzer was younger and he wasn't as dominant as he is now. Now he's just.
He looked like a man amongst boys every time he on the mound.
Yeah.
It never.
Like, what year were you born?
Like,
damn, y'all can just keep
Scherzer
coming up,
just so dominant. It'd be like, man,
Yeah.
it's hard to rule him out.
Yeah.
What you call it? So AL. What we got?
Go ahead, Wes.
AL. I was thinking Verlander, but AK gave me a good argument about Chris Sale, and I kind of understood everything he was saying.
Hey, the Red Sox, aren't they? They're high, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're rolling in, right?
Yeah, what? I know. I know,
like,
bro.
You don't want to hear.
No, I ain't trying to hear that. But
Yeah,
why'd you pick him?
Verlander, I think it's just because of the innings pitched, and I like when he pitch, he give you 7 to 8 all the time. And that's hard to.
And he still throws gas in those 8 innings.
And
I watched in the game.
He throws like 95 still in the 8th inning.
Oh, yeah, I saw something. He threw 99. I was like, what the hell? I was like, this dude throwing 99. I was like, I never knew that he can. I don't watch him like that. I didn't know he could do it.
He's up there in age, and he's been doing that his whole career.
Right. And the man just popped out a
The
baby.
good thing about Verlander is he doesn't have to strike you out.
Yeah.
He'll just pitch you, and you'll a ground ball fly out for the whole game.
Yeah.
And but he got the stuff to strike you out at the end of the day.
Oh yeah, easily.
He's feeling himself this year. I'll give him that.
That's another one. There was a few things that I looked over that just pushed me off a little bit off Verlander and went more towards Chris Sale. I mean, it was kind of a toss-up. I mean, I think everybody competing in the sense of an MVP award in this, or even Silver Slugger, Gold Glove. I think everything's going to be so close because the competition is just
strong this year.
Bro, the great players, they're
Really showing
they're
up.
neck and neck with each other in every single stat. It's outrageous.
Yeah.
It's good to see because but it's pitchers. I mean, pitchers are dominant as of late. I mean, it's a very pitcher dominant league.
Is it because they got kind of strict on these batters on the perform enhancement stuff? Like, you think this pitcher
shift.
now is short? Yeah, like it's
The
like
shift,
it's.
the shift has a little bit.
Yeah.
to do
You
with
think
it.
so? Like these pitchers are
When
really
you
are starting
overload
showing
one side
up.
of the field with 2 extra players. Somebody that pulls it to the left, he's not getting a hit, or pulls it to the right,
Yeah.
he's not getting a hit. So,
Okay.
I mean, the pitch that makes pitching
Yeah.
dominant.
Yeah,
Until
yeah.
the hitters can figure out a way to beat it, which
They
Yeah.
haven't.
slap a ball down third base and you can walk to first.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's so much more there's so much more film and study on
Yeah.
batters now. It's gotten so in depth
Tendencies.
now.
But batters are also doing the same thing.
Yes.
But pitching is going to win because
Yes.
Because they got
it's
They
simply
know what's
of,
coming too.
right.
Are you throwing me a slider or are you going fastball?
Yeah,
Right.
and
It's a
If you
guessing game
guess-
for the
if you
batter.
guess
but-
wrong,
And the thing
Yeah.
is with these good pitchers is they can do it with any pitch.
Right.
Any pitch they throw. So it's like, all right, well, pick your poison. Do I want to swing early thinking it's a fastball, or is it gonna go down in the dirt? And it's like, and a lot of pitchers can have it come out of their arm looking the same.
yeah.
Right.
Looking like a fastball, but that thing is 82 miles an hour and it's dropping out of the box. Like, I mean, it's
Unhittable.
just it is unhittable. I don't care
unhittable.
who you are. You can
Yeah.
be the greatest hitter in the world, and you can be Pete Rose and you're gonna miss it.
So you got Chris Sale.
Yeah, I got Chris Sale because, like I said, he's first in WAR. His ERA is 2.23. I mean, it's third, but his strikeouts per 9 innings is first. His strikeouts are first, and his hits per 9 innings is second. And that was second against not even Verlander. It was I think Morton from Houston. So I pick him just because, like, again, it's a toss up. As much as I don't want to pick a Red Sox, but I can't argue the fact of what he does and what I saw him do against the Yankees personally. I mean, and that's one of the best lineups in baseball in the sense of 1 through 9 hitters, and he put us in our place.
Yeah.
He did. I mean, not every single time, but he put us in our place when he wants. And if it counts, if it's Game 7 and he's on his money, he'll pitch lights out. He'll pitch shutout. He won't give up a run. That's how good he is.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
What about you, Joe?
I'm going with Severino from the Yankees. 2 point.
How he picking that? You ain't.
Cause, bro, I
mean,
and plus I don't. It's just like, bro, I don't want to always pick my guys. You know what I'm saying?
I get it. All right.
But then
Go
again,
ahead.
we're just going off of what happened in the
Right,
first
right,
half
right,
of the
right, right,
season.
right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Same thing. Yeah.
Severino 2.3 ERA. I mean, like Aaron said, you don't want to count wins and losses, but
Right.
the man's 14-2. Like, I know you don't want to count it. I know that's a standout number. Stout lineup, yes, but with a 2.3 ERA, you're not giving up runs. Your team's playing defense. Yes, you can't control that, but that's the name of the game. You shout out to your outfielder for robbing a ball. You know what I mean? That's all you really can do as far as
Yep.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Because it could have easily been an inch down in the strike in the strike zone, and he's hitting it out of the park.
Yep.
Gone.
You know what I mean? Strikeouts, 144. It's not really high, but it's right where you want it to be.
It's third, I believe.
The number that sticks out to me is the 32 walks. I mean, you've pitched 20 games. You started. That's less than 1 a game. I mean,
Yeah.
we got pitchers like Chatwood who are giving up 5
5
a
a
game.
game.
He's
And
got
we
he's got
hope-
the most in the MLB too, by
Oh,
the
yeah.
way.
Does he
I looked
really?
at the stat. Yeah, Chatwood
Yeah,
hit.
me and
about half
Wesley
the
are
innings
hoping,
pitched.
like, I hope he only walks 3 today.
Right.
You know what I mean? So Severino just meant a lot to the squad. I mean,
He's our anchor.
I'm excited for the second half because man can win 30 games. Like, that's not a long shot right now. So we'll see what
If
happens.
he stay healthy, I'll give him 25 easy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
Hey, do y'all remember who were the Cy Youngs last year? For any reason? I'm just curious. Maybe they took a dip or anything like that. Hey, Jesse got us.
I wanna
Yo.
say
I'm just curious to
Kershaw.
see who took a
Yeah,
took a
Kershaw
dip.
was the NL, wasn't he?
And
Scherzer was,
Scherzer won it.
right? Because when we talking about he's about to win. If he wins this
Oh
year,
yeah,
he's
it'll be his
gonna win
third straight. Yeah, so
Straight?
Scherzer,
Because
yeah.
Arrieta
Damn.
won it. Scherzer.
Kluber.
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 Yeah.
Kluber is
Another reason
he's the
why.
he's damn near the third man on that rotation right now, behind Verlander and Cole. He
Really?
ain't pitching like them. He ain't, them two guys are pitching
his
like
ERA
that.
is under 3 though, but I mean I feel you.
But compared to them two, they got
Right.
better
Right.
ERA. So I'm saying that's why he's almost third spot,
So
and
he's
that was his team for all of them got there.
So Houston got 2 Cy Young pitchers.
Uh,
Cause Verlander has one, doesn't he?
Verlander, yeah, I believe
he
Verlander
does.
has one. I think he got one in Detroit too.
That's what I thought. That's what I'm saying. I thought he got one in
Yeah,
Detroit
yeah.
or so.
So Chris Sale, yeah, he hasn't won yet, has he?
He didn't win
No,
one with
he would
the
if he would.
Sox.
No,
Well, the White Sox.
no. So
I
that
know
would be
that.
his first one. But yeah, Scherzer, yeah, he'll probably get it 3 years in a row.
Damn.
Yeah, 3 years. That's intense.
He's dominant.
Yeah.
He's
Like Wes said, a
dominant.
man amongst the boys.
Like, it's,
Well,
when
odds
he-
like
when
that,
he-
yo.
Question real quick, just question for you guys. Like, you're Max Scherzer, you're in that situation. Like, what do you do? Like, do you just say this is okay, this is what it is? I mean,
In the sense of his team performing.
yeah, like how do you
feel
either
like-
change that or change the situation? Because you're such a dominant pitcher and you guys can't get out of the first round,
Well, you know they're not gonna let him go.
right?
No.
First of all, and I think if you
just
Scherzer, you
is
just
what
gotta
it is.
approach it. Yeah, it is what it is. What more
That's
can
the way I
what
look
what
at it.
more do you want me to do? You
For
know what
real.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can't. I mean, at that point in time, he's just making sure his numbers are straight, so he can at least go down in the Hall of Fame of like, hey, this man pitched lights out for 7 years straight, or X amount of years straight. He deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. I mean, yeah, championships are nice, but Hall of Fame. I mean, that's,
baseball, it seems like, World Series is very good to get. Any titles in sports is good to get, but it seems like when it comes to baseball, if you were a stats guy where you're just putting up numbers, it seems like you're gonna be okay. You're always gonna look.
Oh
like
yeah,
you're
because it's
the
not like
man.
like the NBA where you can
gotta
you
win a
can
ring,
juice your
you know?
you can juice your stats. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You can force people like going in to get the rebound instead of just getting back on defense or just
Right.
stuff like that. Baseball, I mean, as a pitcher, that's what you want to go out and do. I
Right,
mean,
right,
as a
right.
player in the NBA, you want to go out and get if you can rebound, block shots, steals,
Mm.
do everything. Yeah, do it. But I mean, not too many do it. But baseball, you got to get out there and pitch your shit. Because if
yeah.
you don't, then you're going to be out in the second inning with an
Right.
ERA of 7 runs.
Right.
And then
It's just in baseball, it's just so many uncontrolled variables. Like you can go out and pitch great, you can do your thing, and you can still lose.
Yeah.
Because you know what I'm saying. It's
Yeah.
not team cannot be hidden. You might be passing the ball over to a bullpen that's not good
Wild
enough.
pitch,
yeah,
Anything.
anything. Yeah, a wild pitch could.
In basketball, it's a
pitch
little
could
easier
cost you
to put your thumbprint on the game. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like,
100%.
All right. Well, okay. We got Cy Young. Some of
So
us
Joe,
got
you,
some
you
different.
got Severino, so we all picked different.
Yeah.
Oh,
all-
okay,
it's all
okay,
completely
okay.
different.
I
So
like
it's
that.
3 different guys, man.
What I
We'll
was
see.
thinking though about that is when you think about Verlander and Severino, they have the bats to give them that extra confidence that every time they get on the mound, they can give up 4 or 5 runs because at the end of the day, the offense can be able to save them.
too to go up there. And
Yeah.
save
Yeah.
them. As long
Hey,
as I keep these
unlike
balls
the
on the
ground.
ground.
Hey, you know
it's
what's?
good.
Let me a little stat for you Cubs fans. Since we brought Gleyber up, we've been number 1 in defense efficiency in the
If we
MLB.
traded Gleyber, we want a ring.
It's okay. It's okay.
Even
We got
trade,
3
I'll
coming
take
up.
it.
Hey, we'll get.
Yeah,
We'll take 3.
3?
We'll take 3.
it's not.
We got the third youngest lineup in MLB, so
Yeah, okay, 3.
It might be
I
3
seen it.
years before y'all make it out the first round.
hey,
Hey, all I know is
out the first round, we made out the first round last year.
Boston coming.
It's
They ain't
okay.
playing.
I'm not worried. I'm worried
right.
about Houston because
right.
Boston has Chris Sale to worry about, and that's all we got to worry about. Like, yeah, they're gonna hit because they're one of the best hitting teams in the MLB right now in the sense of Boston. But they got Chris Sale. We light up David Price every time, so I'm not worried about it. And who else is? I don't know the rest of their pitching rotation. That's how relevant they are. Hey, you
That's
know
how
what I'm
relevant
saying?
they
But so I'm worried about Houston because that 1-2 punch of Cole and Verlander, and then you got Kluber that could maybe get his shit together, and you got 1, 2, and 3. That'd be like Roy Halladay, Roy Oswalt, and Cliff Lee when Philly had him.
But they won 1 World Series with those.
They
right?
did.
I
They did
remember
win
that.
one.
I do remember that trade happening.
I remember when they got all 3 of them pitchers.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. All right. So what's who y'all MVP NL right now?
NL MVP, I like Freeman.
Freeman. I'm sorry. I just had to do that.
I think he's been playing lights out for like 2 or 3 years, and it's now just coming to light because they just now getting good. And I'm a big fan of best player on the best team.
Right.
And the Braves gonna have to make a push because it's not gonna be easy. I
Philly,
don't think it's gonna be easy by any stretch. But what he do at the plate and what he bring defensively, it'd be like, man. And it's kind of in the year when everybody having a down year. Not when I say everybody, I mean like the people you expect to be.
yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Bryce
like,
Harper's batting .214 to make it to the All-Star game.
Should have did the home run derby and be done with it. But it's all about, when it comes to that, it's all about popularity.
No, you're right though, Wes. A lot of players you were expecting to have relevant seasons aren't really doing it.
Yeah.
Everybody. I guarantee you talk to everybody before the season starts, and they're saying Bryce Harper's going to win the NL MVP. Majority, and let's not say everybody, but a lot of people are like he's probably going to do it again. Well, look at him now,
right?
And then you got guys like Wes said, Freddie Freeman. He's been doing it for the Braves for a long time. He was there. I mean, he got there when he was 19 years old, and he's 28 now. So he's been there for some years, and.
I saw him when I was in Atlanta. I saw him and everything. I was like, I saw him. And I was just like, this guy's. I don't rewatch MLB that much, but when I went to watch that game, he stuck out. Like he really stuck out and everything.
I also wouldn't be surprised with Scherzer down the stretch. Just like I think he's just that valuable. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you want to give him the Cy Young and the MVP.
Is that possible?
I don't know who the last one to ever do it, if there is anyone. But like Wes said, I mean, the way he's dominant, he could be that valuable in the sense of the team. But I think that team would have to end up making the playoffs for that for him to get the MVP and the Cy Young. He would literally have to lead them. And he'd have to end up having 20 to 25 wins somewhere in that stretch with an ERA of below 230. And I don't see why he couldn't do it.
Also, just to throw it out there, El Mago. I just want him to have a good second half. He was a great contributor, defense. You know what he brings defensively. He's contributing at the plate, base running, outstanding.
I think base running is the most important thing that he does.
Outstanding, bro. Outstanding.
Hey, I'll say that
all the time.
I mean,
you gotta watch him when you're the pitcher.
Stole second, overthrow, he ends up at home.
Who does that?
They're slightly jogging in third, like, okay, I'm straight. I got another base.
Right.
Javi's like, no, let's get home. Why not?
Right.
Yeah, he did fumble the ball again, but still, I mean,
he a gamer.
Like I said, like
he's fearless. He's fearless on the base pad. That's what I say all the time. He is fearless on those base pads.
Pitchers have to watch him. Like
he just gotta stop swinging at unhittable.
Yeah, he's in top 10 for strikeouts.
Yeah.
Like, bro, they're pitching you.
I know, but like
low and outside, bro. Don't swing.
I'm a swing.
But on the flip side, he right-handed, left-handed. He get in the box. You know what he can do.
Honestly, they say the best person to watch in baseball right now. He's the most exciting player to watch in baseball right now.
I definitely wouldn't give him the MVP, but like you say, exciting-wise. And then when you just think about what he brings to our team, he plays second, he plays third, he plays short easily. If he was on a different team, maybe he'd probably be the shortstop on probably 30 teams.
So he's definitely got the
25 teams,
the Gold Glove for second base.
Honestly, in defensive WAR, he's not in the top 10. And I looked at that list, and that's why
he might not even.
Like in that sense, like he does do a lot. Like I think in the sense of what makes his defense so good is the way he can tag people out. The way
him and Contreras
and his IQ on the sense of like where to go with the ball and things like that is what makes him such a great player. Like I said, defensively, he might not be in the top 10 for the WAR, but I mean, whatever. Look at top 20, he might be in there. We don't know, but like just the way he does it, and honestly, it's his style. He does it in.
Yeah,
it's so calm.
Just walks away.
It's calm, and he's. I mean, he makes it look effortless, and that's why I think it makes him stand out so much.
Okay.
So yeah, he could easily, if he brings some strikeouts down and brings that ERA back up even more.
He's got you.
I mean, he definitely has a chance.
RBIs definitely give you a chance when in a situation where you're not hitting at the top of the lineup and you coming through. What he finished with 74 in the first half of the season. I mean, you take him off the Cubs, we probably be 5 to 10 games less wins. That's just my personal opinion. But he's just important. He important to the team, and when you think about most valuable, you gotta think about everything.
He's the life of that defensive.
Energy.
I mean, because if you look at everybody else, they might have some energy, but Javi's like, he's one of the guys. Javi be one of the guys.
I remember somebody was saying, I was listening to ESPN 1000, and there was a guy speaking saying that Javi now is like where Rizzo and Bryant's at. Those guys ain't going nowhere. Javi's here to stay now. Like, cause remember there was a talk at one point. You could get traded. Javi's somebody that could get traded. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was saying that. Everybody was saying. Damn.
I was just saying you did say that.
You did say that. But it just now I think he's in that room with those guys. Like, I ain't going nowhere. Like, look at all these other guys.
And in all reality, if something happens to where they trade him, or he goes somewhere, it's because somebody's offering him a lot of money and he's going to a good team. But even then, I mean, he's got a lot of love for Chicago.
He's Rudy here.
I hope he don't. I don't like to hold everybody going to different teams because then you don't build no rivalry like it used to be.
Right.
Like everybody's friends at that point in time. Not saying you can't be friends, but then that competitive edge goes off. Because if I'm hooping with my guys, like, yeah, I'll talk shit, but it ain't nothing serious. But if I'm playing against people that I really don't care for, boy, you best believe I'm bringing 110% every time. And I don't like free agency. I don't like all that. I don't like all the shit that goes on now.
I agree.
What you call
at the end of the day, they're going to go to the bag.
Yeah.
So it's either you got to pay him or somebody else going to pay him. That's all it comes down to in every sport.
The integrity of the game in that sense is gone, which sucks. But that's like everything. It rolls with the times, and that's what's going on right now.
Your NL MVP?
Mine's Freeman as well. I mean,
Freeman.
all around, he's in every top 10 category you can look at.
Yeah.
He's in every single one of them. Obviously not strikeouts and in that sense, but everything else. I mean, he's second in he's first in intentional walks. And the next closest is like 7 or 8 behind him. I mean, so that speaks a little bit on the sense of people don't want to pinch to him. You know, I mean, he's second in hits. And like Wes says, he does it defensively too, and he has done it defensively consistently at first base. You know, and not saying first base you have to be the most athletic, but I mean you have to have quick reaction because some of them balls come down that first base line. Fast, really fast, and so I give it to him, and he's playing on a team that they're on the up and up, so it's good to see. So yeah, I just went with them. It's a toss up though. There's him, Javi. There's like another player you could have easily chose off of that.
What about you, Joe?
Bro, it's hard. It really is because I don't want to say Freeman, but it's hard not to. But, I mean, there's other players that are playing good. I mean, you got, what's his name from Cincinnati? Suarez?
Or Scooter Gennett.
Yeah,
Scooter Gennett is actually first in average right now.
You got players that have gone under the radar for so long and have an actual shot at winning the MVP depending on how their second half plays out.
Right.
It's hard to pick. I mean, I was going to go with Arenado from Colorado, but then I'm looking at the other players on his lineup, and, I mean, there's like 4 of them in the top 20 that are just stout. And that's just with, I think, home runs. So, I mean, they got big home run hitters. But I would.
Arenado is having a great year, bro.
He's having a good year, yes.
He is.
He is having a great. He bring it offensively and defensively, just like you expect.
25 home runs, 70 RBI.
Great year.
You know what I mean? Or no, I'm sorry.
And you know what a stat I actually like looking at is because I didn't really look at it in the sense of RBIs when I was picking the MVP because it's hard because who's batting before him, how's the rest of his team,
But if that number is significantly higher than the rest of the field,
of course. And Freddie Freeman, I think he was like 4th or 5th, I think he was in RBI, so not extremely high, but he's first in runs created. So I mean, he's creating runs. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I like that number a little bit more, and he was first at it. So I mean
even Marquez from Atlanta can make an argument.
Definitely.
What about
if you take away, like, it's hard to say though because like I would want to say like Elmore has a shot, but if you take Elmore out of the lineup, you can fill him with Hap. You know what I mean? Somebody that's decent. So. It's hard to say it in that aspect, but any of the other guys, you take them out of the lineup.
You take Freeman off that lineup, Because
Markakis can't do it by himself.
well, and Elbies and Acuna, they all cooled down. They had them hot starts and they cooled off a little bit.
But at least you know they can play at that level.
Oh, true. But Freddie Freeman is the most. And I was looking at
Consistent.
Markakis's, and I forgot what stat it was. I don't know if it was strikeouts or I don't remember, but he was not even in like the top 20, and that's why I kind of was shying away from him too. I was like, Freeman, I'm just gonna give it to him. I just feel he's a little bit more consistent, and he's doing it offensively. Markakis plays right field. You know, not saying I can't take it away from a right fielder, but
what you call it? What y'all think about Mookie? Mookie, I think it's Mookie
Betts.
Yeah,
Mookie
like
Betts.
I kind of like somebody was telling me that he was looking to probably be the MVP, like in the beginning of the year. Do y'all know how he's
He
playing?
hasn't
Still
slowed
making a
down.
strong argument.
He is my vote for Hale MVP. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I picked 2 Red Sox.
I just seen that about like they were saying that he was gonna like probably take it this year.
I
But
mean,
I
he
mean,
had a good
haven't-
year last year, and he's just continuously getting better. And he does it in the field. Like I was just
He's
showing
so
Wes.
clutch.
He's
He
that
clutch,
that
bro.
man. I mean, what was it? He fouled the ball off in the bottom of the 10th and then hit a walk-off grand slam.
Yeah, that was
It
that was like a 14 pitch at
Yes.
bro.
And
Like-
then he hit the grand slam.
And then he hit the grand slam. Like
Grand salami.
yeah, the man's cold, but I'll just jump into it now. That's who I got as my
Okay,
AL MVP.
sorry. I forgot. That's my bad. I forgot that we was talking about
fine,
that
No, I picked him because, I mean, he's a monster in every category. He's first in OPS, third in WAR, first in average, second in on base, and he's second for runs created. And he's 8th in home runs, which his 8th.
Look at Aaron with the stats.
About time.
Hey,
Man, actually,
hey, he's got
even got the
okay,
notepad,
So
yo.
the lead leaguer has got
Fantasy.
29 home runs, which he's out above everybody. But second place is 25 home runs. So Betts is only 2 home runs off of being tied for second
Right.
in home runs. So he jump up from 8 to second with 2 home runs. And I mean, JD Martinez, you can make a push for him. That's the only, like another one I was thinking about on that team, but he's cooled down. He's got a lot of RBIs and he's got a decent amount of home runs, but he's only got 26 home runs. So he's got 3 more than Mookie. Mookie has stayed consistent and he's batting 354. 354 and he's second in
Oh.
he's
forward,
second
Forward.
in runs created with 99
That's
runs.
tough. That's tough.
With 99 runs, and his OPS is 1126.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I think he just. I think he just kind of made me a believer. You know what I'm saying? I'm still riding the Trout.
Yeah, Mike Trout is your AL.
Yeah, definitely
Oh
for
man.
my AL.
Oh man.
But that's tough.
But
What you
because
just said about Mookie. I mean, when
the
you
runs-
factor in them stats,
Because his on base is second to Mike Trout, and his runs created are second to Mike Trout. Mike Trout's got 101 runs created, and Mookie's got 99. I mean, so the only thing that made me go shy away from Trout was his average at 307. He's 10th. I mean, Mookie has consistently stayed at 354. He's been batting over 333 for the entire season. It hasn't gone down yet. So his only one bad stat was the home runs, and that's 2 off of Trout for being tied for second. Trout's got to hit a lot better to even reach 354.
he's not reaching 350.
No, he's not.
He ain't catching
But
it.
that also
But
translates to the
That
lineup he
354
has.
Don't come down though.
Boy, it ain't yet. It ain't yet. That's
He's
why-
been between 330 and 360 for a good
Even
part
if
of
he
the
stay
year.
above 330, that's still lights out. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
definitely.
You know that's the only reason that I took, and then on top of that, when it comes to fielding, like I showed you that update about Mookie, I get updates about Mookie doing something in the field or on the bats all the time. I rarely get stuff about Mike Trout doing anything super spectacular in the sense of, man, that is superhuman right now.
Yeah, true.
You know, so that's why I lean towards
For
bets
the
on that
MVP,
aspect.
yeah, it hurts his argument, but when you look at his career and consistency,
Well, yeah. I mean, you
Definitely.
like we
Right,
talked. You can
right.
make an argument for Mike Trout winning the MVP every single
sure.
year,
Man.
but it's just like how this is the same situation. Mookie Betts is James Harden, and Mike Trout is LeBron James. Somebody you can give the MVP to every year, but do you do it?
I like that.
No.
Yeah,
that's
that
a
makes
good
sense when you say
comparison.
that.
It does
That
make a
make perfect sense when you say it like that.
All right. Let's get into this. Who is the what happened?
Who do you
He-
guys pick?
He picked Mook.
how do I not go with Mookie?
He picked Mike Trout, but he said.
I was on Mookie like 4.5 weeks ago. You ain't hear me?
Oh
I
man.
said everything he said.
Said-
Second that
then
for me.
he said,
Mookie Betts,
West
MVP.
Best is like, yo, God
And I
damn
said,
it,
we said it
you
at the
came with
beginning of the year
stats.
too. I said if
We
Mookie
did.
keeps playing like this when we were still sitting over there,
You even said, you said that he
Yeah.
still hadn't slowed down. What you call it? I just want to get into this because I'm just curious to know who is the best team coming in the second half of the MLBs.
Red Sox.
Red Sox,
Red Sox or Houston?
Houston,
I got
not
Red-
Yankees.
I like the
No.
Dodgers.
They are.
I
They.
ain't
Who?
like the Dodgers.
Hey, getting the Manny
Okay,
Machado,
so-
really helped that.
I don't even
What
think that
is
was that. They were on the roll. They were.
Yeah,
on the
they were
up.
on
They
the
were
roll, but I
rolling
mean,
before Machado.
Wait,
What was
True.
that question you asked me?
is it if now this I called Joe, I called him a little earlier. If Manny has a second half of the season like he had in the first half, is he the NL MVP? Because with him coming from the AL to the NL, because what I'm saying is he balling right now.
He's playing very well.
He is balling.
Dodgers still have pitching issues, so it's hard to say
Yeah.
the longevity of what they're going to do all season. I know they're
I-
playing
they-
good right
they-
now. And I know they've
it's
been
been
playing
a-
it's
good.
like
thing
the
is-
last
I'm
3
talking about
months.
longevity for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
With the,
I think what's-
in and out of DL with Kershaw. I mean,
He just now
He
coming
just
back.
coming back.
You
He
know what
always
I'm saying?
he looked good coming back.
Honestly, I think they're on that roll in the sense of where they're not going to slow down because they've been playing good for like 3 months now. So they were getting better in the first month. The second month they started rolling. This last month they've been cruising. They came back from being down in third place and almost in the bottom end of the fourth, and they came back and now they're in first place right now. I think they're a veteran team to where they can do that and come back and roll through the second half of the season and win that division and then probably play in the NL in the championship game against you guys. It's probably going to be y'all again.
I mean, the bats, it's always up and down with hitting. It's streaky. You know what I'm saying? Unlike what we were saying about, I think where the Dodgers live at is because they don't got to worry about none of those power arms in the American League to get to the World Series. You know what I'm saying? They don't got to go through the Red Sox or the Yankees or the Astros. You know what I'm saying? If they can, they scary with them bats. I'm telling you, Manny, add him to what they do already.
And we're going to
then
put him in the
think
lineup
about-
on top of that. Cause
Think about how you can't pitch around them.
No.
So you can't. It's not gonna get to the point where you can just avoid them because they gonna make.
He's
you
not
pay.
on the Orioles anymore to where you can pitch around him.
Yeah,
He's
they
on the
don't-
Dodgers to where his
Whereas-
numbers potentially are
They
probably
scary.
going to go up because the fact of he's got who are you going to pitch to? The Muncy in front of him or behind him, or are you going to pitch to him? You got to pick your poison. I might as well try to pitch at him.
And they breaking the bank right now. They willing to do anything to win the ring, and it's scary because we talk
What,
about
the
DeGrom
Dodgers?
being on the
Yeah,
move.
yeah.
I would not be surprised if DeGrom end up in with the
LA.
Dodgers, bro.
I'm not even going to argue with that.
I would like
It could
they
happen.
tough.
They did
They
just send
tough.
away 5 prospects though from Machado. Who
Yeah,
might
and
be
that's
a
gonna
rental.
that cost them. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
So
might.
I think he's gonna re-sign with them.
But
I feel like he
the
is.
right rental can get you a ring.
Right.
Yeah, that's proven. Y'all had
Point.
a rental of the year.
Now,
And he
There damn
almost
near should be an
choked.
award for rental of the year award now, for real.
Even when we got Chapman, bro, it was like, damn, we lost Gleyber though.
Mhm.
But for us, it was like, bro, we need the ring
It was like now,
right now.
and we was riding a wave like so heavy.
You
at
had
that
to.
time.
You
We
you had to make the move.
We had
I
to.
mean, yeah, you guys lost probably one of the best prospects in baseball. And, I mean, man, fucking
Not even
cold.
gonna stop.
But playing second base, boy, he's lighting it up right now. What are you talking about?
Chapman
this-
went right back.
Chapman went right back. He actually.
Yankees being a bully, man.
Oh yeah, I heard you call my Yankees a bully. By the way, how are we bullies? We haven't done nothing
Just
bullyish
what
in
we do.
years.
We just talked about it right
it's
now.
not our fault
we
that
just
Chapman
talked
didn't
about
want
it
to
right
stay
now.
with y'all. It's not my fault. Chapman
They
didn't want
said,
to
hey,
stay.
Chapman,
Hey, Chapman.
we're gonna trade you for a little
Hey,
bit.
we're not
You
even
Give
gonna
that
gonna,
good
come
we're not even
picture.
gonna
back.
talk about the last
Fuck
20
that.
years where y'all just racking up players, bro. What do
Okay,
you mean y'all
okay.
not bullies?
Since we
go.
won our last World Series in 2009. Since
What
then,
about the other 700 years, bro? I've been bullied since the beginning
oh,
of
that
time.
doesn't. We had. Well,
Damn it.
it's not our
Pinstripe
fault.
bullies, yo.
It's not our fault.
It's y'all fault.
But now we aren't. We're now. Look at what we're
Y'all
doing.
doing the prospect way and stuff now.
We
I
did
kinda-
that though in
I
the
appreciate
90s
it.
though. We did that in the 90s though. So like what I think what you are considering us being bullies is probably from 2000 to about 2010 when we were signing big name players for a ton of money. I mean, our last stupid big name signing was Jacoby Ellsbury. We paid him $175 million for like 5 years and he played 1 year. He's down in AAA right now.
Is he really?
Yeah. Making, I wouldn't even play if I was him. I was like, no, I'm hurt today. Stubbed my toe. Just like Melo. Why do all players that go to New York always do that?
So all right. So
Might be the
AL,
city.
would we say like the best teams are all in the AL right now?
The top 3 are for sure.
For sure.
Yeah, top
so
three.
So let's go in NL real quick because it seemed like it's a tight race in somewhat. Like, is it like, do y'all have like Milwaukee making it anywhere, Philly getting anywhere? You said West said you got the Dodgers, and Dodgers what's up? But I'm looking at this.
If we're talking about it in the sense of like a divisional thing,
Yeah.
I mean, I feel it's fairly easy. I mean, the only tough one in my pick is the AL East and the NL East actually because I mean the Yankees have the second easiest second half of the schedule and Boston has one of the toughest.
Right.
So that gives us an edge in the sense of we could potentially win that division. So it's a toss-up on my end. And then Atlanta and Philly, that could go back and forth. I don't know who's going to win it. But for the rest, I mean, we know Cleveland's going to win the Central, AL Central. I got Houston winning the West. I got the Cubbies winning the Central and the Dodgers winning the West. And then it'd either be New York and Boston playing Seattle in the wild card, or I got Milwaukee and Philly playing in a wild card game to get into the playoffs.
Milwaukee and Philly.
Yeah. That's who I got in the wild card game going in, and I picked Milwaukee to win, and I picked whoever it is, New York or Boston, to beat Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
But that's who I got.
I think Milwaukee gonna be Milwaukee and just stink it up like
For
they
real.
did at the second half of the season.
And that's
You know what
not
I'm
just
saying?
some Cubs fans, coming at them. I mean, it's kind of
Like,
written like that for
I
them
was so
sometimes.
happy when they lost 8 out of 10. It's like, all right,
This is the
start
real
being yourself
Brewers.
now. Like y'all the real Brewers now. You know what I'm saying?
Real Brewer.
They just
Yeah,
won their
I mean,
first
I
game
second
the other
that.
day.
The Cubbies for sure.
Yeah.
Atlanta, Philly, Washington might be a little tighter than we think.
Washington gonna get in the wild card game. That's my bold
Well, Bryce
prediction.
Harper's gonna have to show up for them
Dodgers,
for that.
Colorado, and Arizona might be a little tighter too, but I understand where it's coming from with the way the Dodgers are playing. Probably gonna take off.
And
But,
like you can say about
If-
Milwaukee being Milwaukee, Colorado can be Colorado and just stink it up in the second
Yeah.
half of the season and not do nothing. You know,
But
so
the thing about that is they get to beat up on each other.
yeah.
So it's only gonna be
What-
one that
Yeah.
can make it. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
what's
'Cause
crazy is there's in the AL there's gonna be a 100-win team in a wild card game.
Yep. Yep.
Kicked ass all season, one of y'all gonna be in a wild.
And then
card.
and then Cleveland's gonna make it in with like
And Cleveland's gonna
86
walk in
wins.
because they're
The
9.5
division is
up
crap.
in
in
a
the
dog
weakest
shit
division
In
in
the
the
weakest-
history
and
of fucking
Terry
baseball.
Francona-
You ain't lying. Shout out to Sox
They were
fans.
talking about it.
The weakest fucking
They were
division
talking
in
about
the
on
history of
ESPN
baseball.
like last week, maybe saying how Terry Francona is changing the way he's managing for the second half of the season because he doesn't need
to
to.
overwork his guys or
Right.
anything like that.
Exactly.
Yeah, because
And that
But
is
you don't
very
want to get him
true.
out of rhythm,
Right.
'cause, you know what I mean?
And-
It's baseball.
And
Right.
that's true.
Yeah.
You don't want to be going in mediocre, going to play teams that have been battling out
Right.
all year to where
Right.
they're
Ready to go.
And in all reality, Cleveland they missed their shot. Their window is so small right now to me because they're not even the top 2 best teams in the
Or
AL.
5. In the AL by default.
Yeah. But I mean, they're
on
fifth.
the outskirts.
They're really fifth if you
Yeah,
look at it because
5 or
Houston and
6 for
Seattle
sure.
are so
Yeah.
good too. So that's 2 right there.
no
Red Sox.
ain't a problem. It's
no problem.
not a problem. It's not a problem. Ain't a problem. Hey, we had to get that in. That's what's going on in the social media world right now.
Dennis Sharp.
boys. Sharp, yo, shout out to you, man. It ain't a problem. It's not a problem. It's not a problem. Oh, I'm sorry. We got to throw that in there.
But yeah, they could easily be the 5th best team in the American League right now, and they're winning a division. So in my eyes, their window is done.
How y'all feel about Philly and the Braves?
I mean, I've been rocking with the Braves all year. Though I think they're gonna still pull it out because Philly's really young. Philly's got I probably think the youngest lineup. I mean, not saying that takes away from them being able to perform and get into the playoffs or do anything like that, but I just think when it comes down to it, I think they're so new.
Do y'all think they're the most quietest team right now?
Philly?
Yeah.
They came. Yes, I thought
You know what I'm
Philly was
saying?
going to be terrible.
Yeah.
I knew Atlanta was going to have a relatively good year in the sense because they were trash, but not that bad. That trash last year. That division was real weak
Up and
last
down,
year.
yeah,
You
yeah.
had Washington. That's pretty much about it.
Right.
But Philly was going to. I mean, Atlanta was eventually going to come up. I honestly don't follow Philly enough. They're such a small market team, especially to me, that I don't really follow them often. So I don't
Right.
know who they had. I pretty much knew when they got rid of when they won the 2008 World Series, that was the last of
that's
Philly. You know, well, and then when they lost to us the next year,
be
after
honest,
that, they didn't do anything.
The only thing I knew going on was Jake Arrieta signing with them.
Oh, yeah.
That was like literally the only thing I knew about Philly.
He started out the season good.
Yeah.
He's gotten real quiet.
Well, he was getting frustrated with his players, wasn't he? Like it was something going on when he was like getting like
he's so vocal. He's a little bitch.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
He's a little
Bro, he's vocal about all this. I just don't like the way that people move when they do shit like that. Like, just be quiet about what you do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you know, I'm being biased, but that's why I love Derek Jeter. You never heard about his contract talks. You never heard about him wanting more money. Everything stayed
That
private.
dude's quiet about everything.
I think everything should stay private, but people that are like that, I just don't. And then they go to another team, and then now look at what happened. Like, karma, bro. You could have stayed on the Cubbies, and you guys could be dominating that entire NL right now with him and Lester at a 1-2. There's no reason y'all couldn't go to the World Series and win the shit with them.
All right, go get your bag. You'll never win the ring again.
That's what I'm saying. Like
pretty much.
You know,
or
so
anything.
that's what I'm saying. Karma on him. You want to go chase the bag, and now, they're Philly and they're doing well. Don't get me wrong, but let's be real.
You ain't gonna be there when and if they do win.
Yeah, he should have stayed on a win now team and got a couple more rings and then been straight, bro. Then you could have said it. I'm a starting pitcher that's got 3 World Series
what
rings.
What did he even want? 3 years, $75 million.
He just wanted. He wanted.
No, he wanted 5.
5.
Yeah, they gave him his 5, but the day before we signed, who do we sign?
Yu Darvish.
Well, they said the day that we signed Yu Darvish, they called him and made the final pitch to offer him the exact same thing.
He said,
you know what I'm saying? And he was like, he wanted to take everything. Like, all right, you want to be a loser for like what?
Go be a loser.
$2 million a year. Okay, that's cool for me to sit here and say, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's only $2 million when it's a lot of money. You know what I'm saying?
But to them, that ain't shit. That's his house payment
bro.
and his car payments right there.
You know what I'm saying?
You know.
Like,
So, but
you gotta take it. You wanna get paid, go lose.
Yeah, that's basically what it is now. You want to get paid, go lose. If you want to win, you got to.
Unless your name DeMarcus Cousins. he did get paid. He fit a win.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, hey, you know why I'm here. That's what it is right there.
You know why he's and it's crazy he can't even play till like the second half of the season too. I know.
Healthy.
Hit me with the meat real quick. He is not tripping over there.
No, I know he's not because he's. I mean, bro. In all reality, if people can't live off $5 million a year, I don't know. You guys got problems.
He get paid though.
Oh yeah, he
At
is.
the end of the day, getting off topic a little bit, but he'll get paid.
No, good. We're gonna take a break. What you call, we'll be back and everything. Make sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter, Snack Talk Podcast. Look us up and everything. And on Twitter, let us know what you think about some topics.
Yeah, questions, conversations we could have, something you guys want to hear about.
Whatever you heard or anything, just fill us in. Let us know what you think out there, all right?
Me and Donnie Johnson, all we do is drop bang.
Hey, I'm with the team. Know what I mean? Yeah, motherfuckers coming at me with they handout. Bitch, ain't none of this shit for free. Like the bands out. Because the way we living ain't cheap. We coming, we bringing the heat even after the beat. Drop, thinking faster, taking no more than 3 seconds like a complete. Stop, the time is flying, my mind just keep on going. I do more than try to stay afloat. I'm aiming for the sky, I know it's growing. We all gonna die, we just don't know when. So I get it's my best, deliver flows, I cannot stress. Ship them to the team down to receive and packs it up so we can track call us UPS. Yes, it's getting hot, call this Cheetos. Your shit funky like Fritos, mixed with cheese like Doritos. I stay saucy, Tostitos. You can catch me in the cut just chillin' with my amigos. Don't hit me just cause you say something, cause don't make you my primo. All this vibe, we def gon' eat though. You vegan, you know you don't want none of this beef, ho. Smokey, don't come by here no more. Niggas acting for a handout, like I'm about to pull the bands out. I am invested in really becoming a prophet, so call me a cash cow. Niggas acting for a handout, like I'm about to pull the bands out. Everyone wanna have bread and be famous, but no one wanna understand how. Niggas acting for handouts, like I'm about to pull the bands out. I ain't even got no bands now. I'm steady trying to set large amounts. I announced my arrival, ain't got too much pride though. A young nigga always stay humble, no rebuttal. Step to the mic, ready to roll. Say you can't really hustle if you ain't struggle. Once before, saving bars, I guess I'm trying to be a hero. In a city I hate, people don't wanna agree, but they know they relate. Everybody wanna talk, but ain't nobody willing to do. Don't get all offensive like this is new. I'ma ball you up, you gonna have to call Uncle Drew. Out here looking like Groot, ashamed and very despicable. Me, I'd rather spread love, I do not wanna be miserable. So you need to get to stepping like Greek life. better think twice. Hey, we'll get you no invite. Niggas too weak, that's a fortnight. When me and Donnie reunite, I consume the beat, that's a soundbite. This music shit is short like my wife, but your girl hear me take her, she ain't my type. Look at my watch and it said it's time to get it. Fuck all this battery, just call me energetic. Man, I'm cold like trying to migrate to the south, but I be interstate creating different routes. Don't be asking for no handouts. My fucking birthday.
Yo, welcome back to Smack Talk. We back at it again. We're gonna jump into some, football, some NFL. Let's talk about, the division. Who's gonna win the divisions and who's gonna pretty much
Stand out.
Cause last year, AK predicted that the Eagles were going to pretty much take it all the way, right?
Shut up, Dion.
I'm sorry, but it's true, right? He predicted that shit.
No, he didn't.
What he said?
This is what happened.
Okay, explain the story.
We're kicking it.
Kicking
I
it.
think we were at Heroes maybe, or
Yeah,
we
probably.
were somewhere, and Aaron was like, "Bro, the Eagles you got to watch out for them in the Giants division, the NFL East or the NFC East."
At least.
And me and Zach are clowning him like, the Eagles, bro, really? You're not worried about the Cowboys at all? Sure enough, they ended up winning the fucking Super Bowl.
Okay, well then you just
Me and
predicted
Zach
that.
kept it on ice until last week.
I forgot.
But
about it.
then it was just the
Sometimes
fact
I'm
that
just talking to talk.
It was just the fact that you predicted that they were going to be a good team, and sure enough, they won the Super Bowl. So let's go by division. Let's go AFC East. You got England, Buffalo, Miami, the Jets.
I mean, we all know who's gonna win that.
Ain't no question who.
England. I like how West didn't even. Look
All right, so look.
Jet, Jets.
See, that's a damn shame that we can laugh when you say that team's name. But all right, let's say it like this.
New England.
Is there?
New England.
All right,
New England.
All right.
Y'all going with
On
New
to
England?
next. On
Go
to
with the
next.
Jets.
AFC North, yo.
So we got the Jets.
We got the. All right, that's so messed up.
Pats. All right.
All right, AFC North. Who we got? We got Pittsburgh. We got Baltimore. We got Cincinnati. We got Cleveland.
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh. I got my Pitts. I would say that so
Yeah.
too.
Gotta go Pittsburgh.
Yeah. I mean,
Any court like
they're supposed to be the
Cleveland?
best offense in
Cleveland?
the game
They
this
might
year.
have it. I'll get ready. How do you really let me finish?
I
wasn't saying they were gonna win it.
Cleveland might not be in last
Over
place.
Under 6 for Cleveland.
There you go.
6 wins.
I got them winning at least 6. I got them winning at least
I'm gonna
6.
go 6, bro. I'm gonna go.
You gonna go 6?
I think they win 4.
I think they get a little more than 4.
I don't know, bro.
I don't know,
They
though.
gotta play
I-
Pittsburgh
it's gonna be
twice.
interesting.
And if in all reality, if they play
They
Baltimore
ain't no
twice,
scrubs
not
no
saying
more,
they're
I tell you
scrubs,
that.
but Baltimore's still better than Cleveland, so
I
they
feel
gotta
like-
play both of them twice.
I feel like Baltimore's
that's
like
4
stock
games.
is going
I
down.
think
This
Cleveland will be the team that it's like, once they do rattle off a couple games, they're
They
gonna
gonna
be like, all
ride.
right, cool, this feels good, and then
Suck for the rest of the
Bunch
season.
of-
They're
bunch of-
like, we got our
I didn't
5
wanna
wins,
go
we're
that
good.
way.
it's a bunch of
Didn't wanna
young
go
guys
that
over
way.
there,
They got,
man.
they got the offensive coordinator from Pittsburgh, right?
Todd Haley.
That's a good question.
No, they got a. I don't know. I know they got the same head coach, but I think they got a new offensive
Oh,
coordinator.
I'm not sure. I know.
All right. So Pitts. That's what we're saying.
Yeah, I'm rocking with Pittsburgh.
Berg.
The bird. All right. AFC South. Jag, Tennessee, Indiana, Houston. Who y'all got?
Jaguars.
Jaguars.
Right.
Everybody's saying
I like
that they
Jags.
like.
Yeah, I mean,
bro.
how do you go against it?
I can't see. You
There's
can't.
no- Their
They
defense
went to
is,
the AFC Championship game, right?
and we're a fluky Patriots game
It's,
away.
it is, yo, they were
from-
winning
There
in
was
the first
there were
half.
there were pass
It was-
interferences called on Jalen Ramsey and they weren't pass interference. But of course, who wants to see Jacksonville versus New England? I mean,
Jacksonville
you know what I'm saying?
versus the Eagles.
Who wants to see Jacksonville win that?
Yeah.
People from Jacksonville,
Right.
Probably everybody
Lil
loves.
Duval.
Everybody's a Patriots fan, bro. Patriots have been winning for so long. There's so many Patriots
It
fans.
just make it a little easier to go for the underdog, though.
Yeah.
It's me like just to see something.
Oh, I wanted Jacksonville to win. Trust me.
Yeah.
I wanted Jacksonville to rip New England apart, but then that didn't happen. No.
So no love for Tennessee, Indiana at all.
I
Is
like
Andrew Luck
Tennessee.
coming?
I like Tennessee,
I like Tennessee too.
honestly.
Who knows
That's why.
with Andrew Luck? Andrew Luck don't even know what's wrong with Andrew Luck, bro.
Like if
If we
he
were talking on the radio probably like a month ago, like,
He throwing a super light football
hey,
right now.
they said he's throwing a football, and the one dude, I think it might have been Waddle or Sylvie, they were like, we're talking about a quarterback throwing a football. One
One.
time. That's what we're talking about.
I mean,
That gotta be
That's
hard
rough.
on him
I
mentally.
know, man. Straight up. Like, I can't
You know what I'm
imagine
saying?
him coming back and just
And
being
he's such
right
a
at
nice
it.
person. He's
Yeah.
a nice dude. Like, if you ever hear his mic'd up, when
Yeah.
he gets hit
Hit,
hard,
yeah, I saw
he
that
gets, oh,
thing.
good hit,
Hey,
buddy.
good hit, guys. Hey, good hit.
Yeah, great hit, man. Should
Good
hit me a little harder. Like,
yo,
he's so
really
polite
good
about
hit.
it.
You really fucking got me.
Yeah.
buddy.
He don't even say the F word. He says frickin'. You really frickin' got me there. That's literally what he says, bro. Like, it is so funny to you can't hate the man, bro. He's
Guy,
such a
and one
nice-
guy came and say, "Hey, I'm sorry for hitting that hard." He says, "Okay, it's all right. It's not a problem. It's not a problem." Yo, but I guess Indiana. Yo,
You really look like him right now, bro.
Sound like him, look like him.
Got the glasses.
I got the
and
glasses
everything.
on.
I'm on this hitting
I'm
straight,
on, this hen and this cognac,
smoking these
man,
miles.
this
looking
black
at-
mountains. Y'all got me there. Oh my
All right, so
God.
we got Jacksonville winning the South.
Yeah.
Who we got winning the West? AFC
The West. You got KC. You got
The
Chargers. Okay, and what you call it, Denver
Chargers.
Chargers.
Yep, I got.
You
Chargers.
really got you know.
Bro,
I'm
I've
not
been
even
reading
mad at
about the
that.
Chargers. That offense is gonna be decent again. I mean, and their defense is. I mean, they
weren't
and
bad
they,
last
they got their defense was solid last year, and they picked up Derwin James, the best defensive back probably in the draft last year. And you add him, and that's a position that you can instantaneously affect help your team at.
So y'all think KC's done? Like
Oh,
you know.
yeah.
I don't think they done. I
Not to
think
say
they-
done,
I
but
think-
like you know, losing Alex Smith. And not to say he was a key person, but
Who's their
you know,
starting quarterback now?
Like, who they?
Who?
Mahomes, Patrick Mahomes.
Is it really?
Yeah.
But who they trade? Who they trade Alex Smith for?
They
Picks.
yeah, he went to where the hell did Alex Smith go? Washington. Yeah, Washington.
Washington.
Where Cousins go?
Cousins went to
Minnesota.
Minnesota.
That's what it was.
Minnesota.
Okay. Somebody I thought it was a
Minnesota's
quarterback.
that
Hey,
team
we're
to
gonna
beat,
come back.
man.
We're gonna come. Yeah, we're gonna come. Hold on. We're gonna come back to that. So,
Swelly.
but hold on. Are we all Are we all in agreement that San Diego's the team?
I mean,
Well, I mean, Kansas City, I feel like would be the only one. With
the Chargers made the wild card last year.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So and that was second to KC
Chiefs.
with an Alex Smith, and we all saw what happened to them.
KC went 10-6, and then the San Diego went 9-7.
Yeah, the Chargers are gonna win that division
Right
this year.
there.
With a
It's
better,
not- it's-
their quarterback is so much better that alone is gonna put them a couple wins ahead of them, regardless. Because
Golf?
no, the Chargers,
Oh,
Phillip Rivers. Phillip Rivers threw for like 4,600 yards last
Philip.
year.
Mm-hmm.
Trust me, bro. Phillip,
Philip.
pick him in your fantasy team.
I probably had him last year for my reserve.
What you call it?
I had Kirk Cousins my starter. I can't say Kirk Cousins.
Y'all don't think Denver's gonna come back this year? Then they pick up a new quarterback.
Yeah, they got Case Keenum, but
They gonna win because of their defense.
That's what I'm
They
saying.
gonna
Their
win
defense.
games.
All they need is a
their
good.
running back
defense
is
is
not.
good.
That's what I'm
They
saying.
gonna
That's,
win games,
yeah.
but-
Yeah.
Do they win more than the Chargers? No.
No, I don't think so.
All
Do they
right.
win more than Kansas City?
So we all in agreement then? San Diego.
I give
Chargers?
San Diego.
You get San
Yeah, for
Diego.
sure.
Yeah.
All right. All right. We're gonna go to the NFC East. Philly, Dallas, Washington, New York, Philly.
Yep. Philly.
Yep.
How do you go against the Super Bowl champ?
It's
Getting
not
their
that.
starting
I mean,
quarterback
even if
back
The Giants,
eventually.
even if the Giants do have a better year, I don't think it's enough to win the division.
No.
I mean, I don't even think the Giants. gonna have a
Washington,
better-
I don't think is gonna do
Don't
much.
sleep on Eli, bro. With
I
weapons
don't.
around
I
him.
like Eli.
Yeah, shout out
it's just
to
that I just
Zach's boy Brandon.
I can't. What's that? Hey, go watch the last episode.
Yeah, don't get me started on that.
What you call it? But I'm not saying that they're not gonna like get anywhere far, but they're gonna win. But they're not gonna make it to the playoffs. I don't think.
Coming down to the division, Philly obviously is gonna win it.
You don't know what the Cowboys are.
Honestly, the Cowboys are going to be as good as Dak Prescott makes them, and Dak Prescott,
Yeah.
I don't think is that good of a quarterback.
I-
Eli
even
or
though
Zeke can run.
Dez is gone, right?
Yeah, Dez is gone.
Yeah. He still
So
hasn't
he
been
ain't even
signed.
got a
picked up.
team.
No,
that's
he don't
messed
even.
up.
He hasn't got
You
picked up
don't,
yet.
but I wasn't saying that.
want
he
this.
But
Nobody want this.
I
like
wasn't
the mellow
saying
in
it
football.
that sense. I was saying it in a sense of they might be able to progress a little bit by losing Dez. I mean, he was.
Who's the running or wide receiver?
I'm not sure exactly.
He was
but
there, like,
his-
number
his
2, right?
numbers
Like,
He
weren't
was their
very
he was
good
their
last
number
year.
one wide receiver. They have
I-
Cole Beasley.
I think
They
he
have
barely
Cole
got
Beasley.
800 yards last year.
There, I mean, but if you look at nobody else on the team got any kind of because Dak Prescott
Yeah.
is not. He's not a passer.
No.
He's not. Pass.
Let's
first
be
line.
honest. When Ezekiel was out, as soon as he went out.
Oh yeah,
Dak Prescott
that running
started,
back makes
like-
any quarterback better.
I mean, yeah, but I'm just saying, like, you could see, like, he kind of didn't have it all together. Like he looked like he needed his running back. Like,
Yeah.
badly.
Everybody needs. I mean, look at when Aaron Rodgers has a relatively decent running back.
That's a great offensive line.
Where?
In Dallas.
No. They dismantled. They lost 3 pieces.
Last year?
They lost 3
Boy,
pieces.
they ready.
Last
That
year-
line good as
They
hell.
lost
talking
3.
about
They
last
lost
year,
3
though?
They lost 3 pieces coming into this year.
But
yes.
I'm saying, I'm talking about last year though. I'm saying even with that great line, this dude was still like when
Zeke is a great running back in the sense that he doesn't need an offensive line to produce, but if he's not going to put up 2,300 yards or 2,000 yards without a solid running game, and when you have a quarterback like Dak Prescott that can't sling the ball, you can put 8 men in the box and run man coverage on your wide receivers. You know what I'm saying? So that's Zeke can do all he wants, but that doesn't translate into the team winning.
But I get that.
Running backs don't win games like that no more. It's a pass heavy league to where your quarterbacks are slinging that ball more to where Dak isn't that. He's not that player.
If they can play from ahead instead of behind, they might have a chance.
But that's asking a lot. And their defense, I mean, they did pick up. I can't remember off the top of my head, but their defense was, mediocre last year.
True.
They were mediocre last year. So I mean, the chance of them doing anything, I think they're going to be.
All right.
I don't know, but yeah, Philly's winning that.
Philly? Everybody Philly? Philly. All right. Here's a division everybody loves to talk about. NFC North. Minnesota, Detroit, Green Bay, or Chicago. What you got to say about the West?
What'd you say?
The
Bears.
You know
No,
what
I'm
you
going
saying.
with Minnesota though.
You going Minnesota?
Yeah, hands
Oh
down.
shit.
can't-
I think when they get Cook back, bro, it's
That
gonna
wide
be
receiving core, that defense.
it's gonna be tough.
With-
And
with
you
Kirk
can
Cousins?
never mark out Aaron Rodgers. You know what I'm saying?
No,
But
never.
I feel like nobody can compete with Minnesota in that division right now.
No, their defense is so solid. It's unreal.
What's your over under for the Bears win? 6? Over under.
Over.
What about you, Joe?
Actually,
You go
I'm gonna even
I'm
go out on.
take 6.
You gonna take 6? I think we actually might have a chance for the first time in like a million years to have a better record than the Packers.
Even with Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah.
I
The
honestly,
defense,
Swelly, you're my
bro.
friend.
The
Swelly,
defense
you're my
is a
friend.
top 10, yes, bro. But the offense is so
Terrible.
questionable.
Do you not see all these weapons we just
Bro,
got?
but that you can add anyone you want on paper, but you gotta play well together.
Right, but you don't know that they're terrible because they're players.
Bro.
that
But
just
what I'm
came
saying
to
is the
the
first year
Offensively-
players, it's hard to mesh
But
in
what you-
timing
what
with
I'm saying, though,
receivers, bro.
bro,
That's
is
the most important thing.
with the pieces that we just got plus the people we already had, we already the second best offense. We better than Detroit and we better than the Packers. With just the people we just added, I think. But that don't mean we win games. I think we just got good players.
That's why I said meshing.
You know what I'm
But
saying?
see, that's where I'm just talking what I just said. You got to play well together. You can be good, but you got to play well together to win games. So if you can't play well together, you can add all the pieces you want. Look how many teams we've seen in the history of sports that have good pieces on paper, but when it comes to translating to wins, it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we can. I'm not knocking the Bears. I'm not
this
knocking. Your defense is solid. Trust me, your defense is good. You guys.
Trubisky gonna be on Swelly fantasy team.
You just need better. I mean, it didn't hurt that Cameron Meredith and you guys let go of Victor Cruz last year.
Joe just went to sleep.
Victor Cruz didn't make. I don't even.
He didn't.
didn't make
but
the- he didn't
but
make
when
the
you
roster
when
for
you
the-
get Meredith, your starting wide receiver, go pick Cruz up. He's a veteran that knows playbooks. Throw him in his slot. Let him be your security
We
blanket.
got a lot of weapons though.
Yeah.
I'm talking about last year when y'all could have had the chance to give Trubisky some pieces to work around with. After those guys got hurt, y'all didn't do nothing. Y'all
But
just.
it was still a learning curve. He was gonna have to go through them rookie bumps anyway.
Well, yeah, I mean, and it's a sophomore slump.
Not when you didn't have a good rookie year.
Ain't no slump.
8 or 9 games.
Nah, I think that might be it. Like
I
it's
say-
still a stretch. You
I
know what I'm
got-
saying? Just when you hit me with the over and under of 6, like we might compete great and still lose double digit games.
But even if you won't lose double digit games if
Yeah.
you're competing well.
I think you
I'm
guys
saying
get
like
five.
close.
I think
Like
like
last year,
5, 6.
there was a
games.
lot of
If you-
games that came down to the fourth quarter, and I'm saying like, until I see it, I think we could be the same situation. You know what I'm saying? But I
Yeah.
think we have now. I think we got a chance with
Yeah, but
the
if
Packers
you-
getting a little
you
weaker,
losing
Detroit
8
getting a
games-
little weaker.
You losing 8 games by 7 points or less is a lot different than losing 8 games by 25 points.
Definitely.
you know what I mean, you're making
Definitely.
strides. Which
Yeah.
I feel like that's what this season should be, is make sure everybody.
Your
You give us
offense-
6.
Your
I
off,
give you 6.
What
your
you
off-
give us?
5 or 6. Your offense has to prove to me that they can score, bro.
I said
Your
that's
offense
crazy.
hasn't proved that they can score.
good.
Hey,
That's what I'm saying about
How's
the
that
team.
hate?
Like,
Why
we
is that
got-
hate?
I didn't say hate. I said
you
that's
said
crazy.
oh, it's crazy. I mean,
because I agree with y'all. It's still until we see it.
that's what I'm saying. If your offense can score, bro, because your offense hasn't been able to score in years, like in the sense of scoring in bunches or scoring quick, they can't do it.
I think
That's
we
tough
take
to
our
play.
biggest stride in probably like the last 6 years this year on offense.
Oh, yeah, probably. I mean,
It
since you
helps going in with a defense that got better too.
Especially
And
in the
Nagy
draft when
coming
you
in,
pick
we
up.
might be problems with that little Kansas City offense he is running over there. We got Cohen, we got 2 backs. We
As long
like
as he's got
4 deep
players
on
that-
receiver now. 2 good tight ends.
But who do you guys pick up? Allen Robinson or Allen Hearns?
Allen Robinson.
Robinson.
And
Taylor Gabriel.
Taylor Gabriel.
Gabriel's better than Hearns or Robinson.
He in the slot though.
But because honestly, Robinson down.
And
Look
we
what,
got the tight end from Philly too. And we already had a solid
Oh
tight
yeah,
end.
what's his name?
Brent
Brett.
Selleck.
No,
Corey
Trey
Brett.
Burton.
Yeah.
Speaking of tight ends and Bears, anybody know what's happening to Zach Miller and his broken leg?
No, his
Nah,
almost
he got
killed
paid.
him.
They,
Bro.
we signed him back. He can't play. Yeah, but he get a contract. I think
Word?
they signed him back to pay him. I think it was like
He's gonna be a tight
450 or
end
something.
coach.
Yeah.
No
They
shit.
signed him
That's
back.
what's
Yeah.
up. That's
You
what's
never-
up.
Yeah, that dude
That's
almost lost
classy.
his life for the Bears.
Yeah,
The worst
for
team
real.
ever.
And he caught that motherfucker
caught that
pass.
And
motherfucker.
he did. They
Caught
called
it.
it incomplete. They did him dirty.
This nigga
Damn,
got his
I
career.
didn't
He
know
got his
that.
career ended on an incomplete pass.
That should have been a touchdown.
They couldn't just give it to him, man. That's messed up. That's good though. That's
So
good.
you got Minnesota. I got Minnesota. Who you got?
Minnesota.
Minnesota.
That makes sense.
The Packers. But I mean, you don't know what the Packers are gonna do though. Aaron Rodgers.
When Aaron Rodgers playing, you know
Hey,
that they're gonna
but
be.
it's
top
They
team
finally got a
play.
new D coordinator.
They did, and that might,
They lost him?
if they could make their defense a little
That was
better,
their
they could have.
only-
That's
the
been their
downfall.
chink in their armor for forever. Since I can, even when they won the Super Bowl, their defense gave up that defense was the first defense in history to ever give up the most yards
in the Super Bowl.
as a season,
Oh,
and still win the Super Bowl.
what you call it?
And Joe
How
man
did-
finna go over there and eat.
And what you call one defensive player of the year over there?
Oh yeah,
Clay Matthews that year.
is he? What's up?
You think he won defensive player of the year that year?
Possibly, bro.
I just
that
remember-
was
I just-
2008, bro. That was a long.
I just remember
Yeah,
like he
right?
was defensive
Or 2010
player. I just remember he was
2010.
defensive player of the
2010.
year, and then because Aaron Rodgers was MVP and they won a Super Bowl, it was like awards going all over
That
there.
could have been the year that they went 15-1 and lost in the first round of the playoffs. That you might be referring to.
Yeah.
That was the year they were really fucking down.
Yeah, and they lost in the first.
I'm not gonna talk about the year when we let them in, and then they kicked our
Oh
ass
yeah,
in the playoffs.
I remember
again.
that.
No. Oh yeah.
I remember that.
That's
All we had to do was keep y'all out of here.
totally forgot.
Y'all just got in.
What was his name? What was his safety's name?
Oh yeah, it's Chris Conti.
Oh my God,
That's your guy.
he's still in the league somewhere.
All right.
So we all got
NFC
Minnesota.
North, more Minnesota. Yep. All right, here's a division Joe loves and very competitive. So I was really curious to hear what y'all got to say. NFC South. You got NO. You got Carolina.
taking.
I'm not talking to you yet.
It's gonna be
NO,
yet.
Carolina, ATL, and Tampa Bay. I mean,
We know
the
who
Buccaneers.
To rule out, okay.
All right.
Rule out Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
Okay, Jameis Winston.
I got this. I'll take it first. I got the Saints.
Go ahead.
I got the
got
Saints
the
because
Saints?
think about their defense last year. They were one bullshit injury play away from going to the championship game
True.
to play against the Eagles.
Very true. Very
Because Kenny Vaccaro was out, and that's who would have been playing that position.
Yeah,
But they had a
that
rookie
rookie.
guy in, try to make the big play to make his name hot, and instead of just taking the conventional tackle. So, and that offense, I mean, I don't care how old people say or how little Drew Brees is, he still can compete with the best NFL quarterbacks in the league. That offense, yeah, they lose Mark Ingram for 4 games?
Suspension,
First
right?
of all,
Yeah, so that's a little tough, but you still have Michael Thomas and you still have Alvin Kamara, which was the offensive rookie of the year last year. Which, yes, sophomore slumps, we all say that can happen, but I think the first 4 games he'll be hurt because the sense of they're not running back by a committee. That's gonna hurt him. But after those 4 games, and Ingram comes back and starts taking the workload off Kamara a little bit, I think that offense is going to get back to what they were producing last year. And if you're all running on all cylinders and your defense got a little bit better,
thing.
It's
you
tough.
have it.
And Atlanta, I think, is so streaky. Atlanta's so
You
streaky.
don't know what the one thing that I've always said about this division, if the records are, at the end of the season like 10-6, 11-5, all three teams are going to be in that area of winning.
Right.
And if they're around 500 or 9-7, all three teams are right there. Like it's like everybody plays up and down.
They play to their
competition in that division. Like it's
and Carolina, it's
don't
wishy-washy
know what
with
Cam
them
is
too. He was kind of hurt last year. I love Cam. I do.
Like
I
the
love
year
Cam.
is
But
the
year.
they're all they have really is McCaffrey and Greg Golston now as offensive weapons. Funch is never, and I don't think he ever will be that number one receiver. He doesn't have that top end speed. He's got the size, but he doesn't have the leaping ability like some of these other smaller guys do.
Calvin Benjamin wasn't even that good.
He's gone now.
That's why they got
now?
rid of him. They were okay with parting
went
ways with
to
him. Buffalo.
Buffalo.
Yep. I still like Atlanta.
You like Atlanta? Yeah, I kind of got. I like Atlanta too.
I hope they're good. I hope it's competitive. I mean, that year that Cam took them to the Super Bowl, as much as I hate Cam Newton, that was a great year to watch.
Yeah.
I mean, it was awesome.
I just like the core guys that's over there in the ATL, like the offensive stance. But
Yeah.
they got a
You
good running
guys,
back.
Diemov lived over that way. That's why he's calling it ATL.
Yeah.
He's like, I can say it. I'm from.
No, but I mean, like I said,
I'm
Julio,
fucking with you. I'm fucking with you, D-Bob.
their running back, what you call
Julio
it?
had a good year last
Freeman,
year,
yeah.
but
He had a good
Not-
number yard-wise, not
touchdowns.
touchdowns.
Yeah.
Productivity, bro.
No.
Well, it was
He
some.
was on my fantasy
Yeah.
team and his. We have him in two different leagues. In the other league that I'm in, it's touchdown or bust.
Right.
Aaron's still getting 15 points out of him. I'm
And
getting
that's still
2.
low for
I'm
my
getting
first
1.
round draft pick.
I'm ready to fucking
Toss the
drop
ball.
him.
I was
call
trying
him,
to-
yo, bro, what's up?
Somebody
bro?
was telling me like this dude he'll have like 3 shitty games, but the 4th game he'll ball out of control. He'll
also
make it
depends
up
on
for
what
those
kind
3
of league
games
you're
they
in.
lose.
Like I said, in our league, he was getting 15,
Yeah,
17.
yeah.
In my
He's
other
still
league,
he
was
just
20.
he's not getting the problem is the last 2 years his red zone targets have been low because they got Telvin Coleman and Freeman to give the ball off to. I mean, in that sense, and Austin Hopper, he's a big boy to throw the ball to in the end zone. So that takes away from touches on his. But with Gabriel being gone, it might help. I'm not 100% sure.
The thing with Julio is when he get the ball, he got to score because you never know when he going to get it back because there's so many other weapons you can go to strategy-wise. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you get the ball, you score, even if it's 30, 40 yards. Because you might not get it back when we get in the red zone.
In the red zone especially, like he got his touches. But when it comes to the red zone touches, which are the most important, so in the sense of like in the 10 yards and within 10 yards, he's not getting a lot of looks. He's also drawing number one coverage and probably help up top in the sense of the red zone because he is so long and can jump and he's so gifted athletically. But it's tough to produce when you have that shit in front of you.
Yeah.
So
Coaching wise, it's not bad because you want to spread the ball out and not be predictable.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
So that helps with a high-powered offense. Like that's
So-
why they are a high-powered offense.
So you got AK, you got NO.
Yeah.
Joe, of course you got NO. Wes, me and you are ATL.
Yeah, I like it.
But I got that division is very, very streaky of who's gonna take it. But
Best
either way,
division in football, right?
yeah,
It is
that's
the
what
best- it
I
is the
literally
best
looking at
division
it.
in
It probably
For
is.
sure, yeah.
I think it's the best in all reality because there's
Yeah.
no one you can pick 3 teams that could potentially
You got
win that division.
MVP, that's a good chance he's going to be the 4th best team, probably, with Cam. And
Yeah,
I mean,
the third best
well,
team.
third
Third
best
best
team.
team. I mean, in all reality, you could have the MVP that doesn't even make it to the playoffs in that division, or
Yeah, you could.
you could have double-digit wins and not make the playoffs in that division.
True, very true.
You know what I'm saying? That's tough to do when there's teams winning at 8-8, 9-7. Like Seattle's won it in the past.
NFC West. This is actually I'm curious to hear. Who y'all got there? We got LA, the Rams, LA Rams. It's so crazy to say that now.
I still keep
Say-
saying
say-
St.
say
Louis.
Rams. That's why I was like,
I keep saying St. Louis.
Seahawks, Arizona, and San Francisco. I got San Francisco. to
you
take that
crazy.
division.
They have too many holes on that defense.
Way too many, bro.
So many holes in the defense.
Yes.
Offensively,
Offensively, they could make a little.
I just think that
not against the Rams, bro. You're telling me they're gonna. And the Rams stepped up their defense, bro. They picked up Talib and they picked up Sue. And with Sue in there, bro.
Sue's
so you
there,
got
bro?
Sue and
I didn't
Aaron
even know he
Donald.
went
Aaron
over there.
Donald was the best off defensive lineman in the league last year, and then you add Sue on top of that, bro.
How you gonna run the ball on them?
That's what I'm saying. How you gonna pass on them? How you gonna create a pocket, bro? You got Sue up the middle and you got Donald on the edge. That pocket's gonna collapse. You're gonna have to throw the ball in literally 1.2 seconds.
That's playing right into that corner's hand.
Yes.
Did Sue play in Miami last year, or was he?
Yeah.
For some reason I felt like
Yeah, he was in Miami, and they
He
had
was
a
in
good
Miami?
year in Miami too. He wasn't. They just had a terrible.
I didn't
team.
know he went to the Rams.
But yeah, you sent him to the Rams, and they picked up another corner too. They picked up another corner or a safety. I can't remember. I don't know if it was from KC.
Was it Peter Marcus?
Yes, and Peter. So you're telling me you add that on their defense that was already one of the best in the leagues, bro? They might have the best defense in the league next year.
My bad. I didn't know they had to put that together.
Yeah, and offensively, they got Brandon Cooks.
Oh yeah,
they
got paid.
I ain't gonna even stun. It's just throwing it out there. I'm putting him in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely. Hey, it's gonna be. It might be the Eagles and them in the Super or in the.
It's all different.
Or
When
in
we see
the-
him, but Gurley,
Tiger is tough.
And then you had him Brandon
Defense.
Cooks.
bro, you're not gonna be able to run the ball on them. You're not.
Pass
They
the
gonna.
ball.
They like.
They're gonna be
just as
Jacksonville's
good as
defense.
Jacksonville, bro.
Jacksonville's defense.
Just
No
as
fly
good.
zone. No fly
Just
zone.
as good, bro.
Yep.
So
I still
no,
hate the Saints for trading away Brandon Cooks.
Yeah. You could have Michael Thomas and Brandon Cooks.
So, why them?
Why them?
Anybody but them.
Rental.
right.
And they didn't even win the World. They didn't even win the Super Bowl.
They didn't even win the World
But,
Series.
he
Super
got
Bowl championship.
he got popped in that Super Bowl, though,
Super
boy.
Bowl finals.
That man.
Hey, Ron.
Hey, Ron.
PRD might come in with some
That's
stupid
funny,
shit.
bro.
It ain't too bad. But yeah, no, bro. Hey, Swelly, I think it'll be Philly and the Rams in the NFC Championship game. That could easily be that with the Rams
Okay.
team like that.
Well, say like
I was just tweaking saying they going to the Super Bowl. But
No,
I just like that team on
Low
paper
key, you
so
ain't too
much.
far off,
I
bro.
like that team on paper
And-
so much, bro.
And not even that, you looked at them as a team last year. They got a young head coach that I feel that they feel is more of a friend that's coaching them through it, not looking at him as an authoritative figure. So I think that it makes everybody at ease. You're not walking around like, all right, that's the head coach, which not a lot of people do, superstar-wise. But even young guys that could potentially produce, but they're so nervous because that's the head coach and they don't know how to. So if he's more friendly and levels with you, it makes everybody more comfortable.
what's the quarterback name in the Eagles? The main
Carson
quarterback.
Wentz.
Carson Wentz.
Between him and the Rams quarterback, I used to,
I got Wentz is better.
That's
what
better.
you're
I used to.
asking.
It seemed like he was. the
Golf
other-
ain't bad.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He was not like they were making a
They
lot
got
of
some
noise.
weapons, bro.
That's what
When
it's-
you got
they-
He was
weapons,
making
Remember
noise
when
over
he
there in the
he,
Rams.
he was making noise when they had Buddy U drafted, Tavon Austin or whatever.
Oh,
and he
yeah.
wasn't. I mean, bro, he was a 1-2 season player that was gonna make a name real quick, and then that was about it. So I mean, you give him actual weapons. I mean, with Todd Gurley getting a little older, getting more mature in the sense of his IQ, and then you add Brandon Cooks, and then they got Jordan Matthews too, and Jordan Matthews was no slouch as their number
And
one
they got,
option last year.
What's his name? Richard Woods.
Yes,
Eden.
Buddy was cold.
Eden.
No,
Over
Robert
there.
Woods. Robert Woods. He
Over
was
there
with Buffalo
eating.
too.
Over there eating, bro. Like, I just think that defense will be able to figure it out. And if that defense figure it out, all right, league. Okay, let's see what y'all do with it if they figure it out.
And that's the thing. I think that was the side of the ball that is easiest to plug in pieces and you can produce, because pretty much it's the same cover 2, cover 3, depending on what coverages you run. So you can
Depending
easily
on
throw
down the
them 3
distance.
guys in there and they will produce immediately.
Right. It's not about your ability of
Knowing the playbook
knowing
and
the play.
audibles and
It's
all that shit.
It's your duty to break down the play. And
Find the
adapt
ball and go after
change.
the ball.
Yeah,
It's
and the people they got, they real life dogs.
Yes.
bro. Like these is not just
No.
average players. These is top tier players at their position.
that
bro.
they potentially have found their new home and they're gonna go there and rack
and
shop.
you go to Cali. Why not go over there and ball out?
Right?
Yeah,
Yes.
Go out there and go crazy.
Well,
really.
yeah, y'all want to do this right now? Who do y'all predict is going to the Super Bowl, or do y'all want to wait until like?
No, I mean we can do it
season?
now to see if any of us are ready. I don't care.
Yeah, I
Go,
don't know if y'all
take
need.
it, Joe.
I don't know if y'all
You're
need.
real hard right now.
I mean,
Steam's coming
I don't know
out
if y'all
your
want to
ears.
take time and then really make a prediction. I don't know if you want to make.
It's-
We can do it
it's
now.
a crapshoot anyway. For you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Right.
One of us are gonna be right with one of the teams. I pretty much guarantee that.
All right, who go?
I mean,
AFC,
in the NFC,
NFC.
Go ahead and take the Saints. I know yours. It's not a
But
long
see,
shot. It's not a long shot.
It's not a long
It's
shot.
not a long
but
shot.
When you break down LA the way you break them down, I mean, God damn, Minnesota
sounds-
got lucky last year.
Hell
You know what
yeah.
I mean? And now LA got better. But, I mean, in the AFC, it's probably going to be either the Patriots. I mean,
The
Pittsburgh's- The AFC, Pittsburgh's not a long shot.
No.
I'm gonna go Pittsburgh and the Rams.
Right.
I'm gonna go Jacksonville and the Rams win it.
Considering that you got to expect Carson Wentz to come back and perform the way he was after an
Exactly.
ACL injury,
Yeah.
is asking a lot from a quarterback. That's one of the hardest positions because, believe it or not, in the pocket, you move laterally, and that's where your ACL comes into play.
A lot.
And so ain't no problem. So with that being said, I think it could be the Rams' year. I think it could be their year to go to the Super Bowl in the sense of their team as a whole. There's not a chink in the armor. I think their biggest chink is their quarterback, and their quarterback's not that bad.
Are they going in the season with a target on their back or no? Is it still?
I think so.
I think it's Philly has a target on their back.
Cause they now
So
everybody
do I,
now
but
know
with
that
the
they.
Royals,
You know
the
how
Rams
hard
made
it
in
is
the
to
offseason.
repeat? I think they come in with a target like to a point where everybody's circling them. You can't look past them no more.
Them or
That's what it
Minnesota.
is. That's
Think
what
about it,
everybody
people, and think
They
about it.
got a
New Orleans.
quarterback now.
If you think about this, you come in at
Minnesota got D.
you got Minnesota that you
Fly zone, Xavier Rhodes.
They got
Yes.
D over there too.
He's not my fantasy.
you know so
calling it now.
that but like you look at
That's
other
what it
teams.
is.
The Saints got a target on their back if you
True.
think about it because
True.
they were one, like I said, bullshit
One
play
play
away
away
from
from-
being at the championship, the NFC championship game. So you could be like, well, don't sleep on them because they didn't go there. It was a bullshit play that they didn't make it there. So you got them. I mean, people are already expecting the Packers and the Jacksonville to be in the Super Bowl this year, and the Packers I think is a long shot to make it to the Super Bowl.
I don't even
It's a
think the
long shot in the
Packers
sense
win
of
the
their
division.
defense.
Yeah, and
Aaron Rodgers can.
their defense is
Long
old.
as Aaron Rodgers
Who
is
you gonna throw
healthy,
it to?
you know.
Jordy gone.
Devontae Adams.
Jimmy
else?
Graham inside the 20.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot they
Their
got you.
running
Oh,
back.
man.
Hey, don't forget about Ty Montgomery.
Yeah,
He
true.
don't have to worry about running the ball so
True.
much, so he can go back
True.
into a slot position and
Yeah.
kill that slot.
Yeah,
you
he
know
was
what I'm saying?
killing it when he went in
Yeah.
that position.
So I mean,
Yeah.
I'm
Damn,
not.
I'm tired of these weak
So he's like, damn, I take that back. We might win 5 games.
Man,
Sorry, buddy.
But yeah, no, I want to go with honestly, I'm gonna go with the same thing with West. By the way, I'm going with West. I'm going with the Rams and Jacksonville in it, but I'm gonna take Jacksonville is gonna win it just because I'm biased towards Jacksonville. That's the only reason.
Yeah, I got honestly Pitts and I got Philly.
Armpits?
Pitts and Philly, man. That's all I
Armpits,
got.
Philly cheesesteak.
No, that's plot. All the ones we threw out. Obviously, there's no asinine statements going out right now because it's-
Pittsburgh might be a tad reach just because of the Patriots are the Patriots.
That's what I wanted to throw them in, but it's just
what's
like
I'm
good
sick
about
of it.
Pittsburgh is it's like either now or never.
Yeah.
Right.
If they buy into the fact that they got to win a Super Bowl, they not gonna have no chances.
Well,
no more.
what do you think about Le'Veon and just
He's
basically
gone.
saying,
I'm
not
thinking I don't
coming
want to
back?
keep him because I don't know if he gonna play. That's what. I don't know if I
Dun,
want
dun,
him.
dun, dun.
That's what I'm thinking
and
when
if
I
you
think
think
about
about it,
Pittsburgh.
That's a problem.
I don't
That's
think
a
he's gonna
that's a
pick up
problem.
that contract because Big Ben has only got a few more. Let's be real, Big Ben's got a
Oh,
few
right.
more years. He
You would've thought
wanted
he'd
to
been
retire
done.
last year.
Yeah, he
but
should.
they Big Ben or Le'Veon and all them were begging him to play longer.
Did
Because
they?
they were like, bro, we have a team where we can win now, but don't retire. Like, we need you. Like,
So
I
that
need
window
you.
is short.
The window
It's
is very
real
short. Big Ben
tiny.
signed a 2-year extension?
Le'Veon
so.
gone. He gonna go get his bag.
No, I don't think so. I think he's gonna go to a team to where he's gonna win a
That
Super
Super
Bowl.
Bowl.
I think because he's gotten decent
I want to
paychecks.
say it, but I don't want to say it.
New England?
Say it.
Go over there, rebound.
How bad would Malcolm be?
Make time.
But you got dirty Malcolm.
Le'Veon won a Super Bowl in New England, Malcolm, not in Pittsburgh. Malcolm's our friend, and he's a Pittsburgh
he's
fan.
a
He's in our fantasy
Pittsburgh
football league, and he
bound.
thinks he's the best, but he's worst.
Those players suck on his fantasy team.
Yeah.
Man, they coming at you now.
But yeah,
He don't listen anyways. It don't matter.
he's too cool for it.
Too cool.
Mr. Cool.
All right.
But yeah, no, I think that pretty much wraps up that whole little NFL talk. I mean, it's
Yeah.
gonna be interesting to see. I can't wait.
What you call it? All right, let's get into our players of the week.
Damn.
You don't even have one, huh?
Yeah, you start, host.
Who, me?
Yeah.
I got Tiger Woods, man. Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like
Because
it.
honestly, man, for him to do what he did over this weekend, you haven't seen this in him in a long
Championship
time.
Sunday today.
You know what I'm saying? So bringing out the red, yo. So I got Tiger Woods.
He did work his way to tie for first.
I'll be
Yeah.
watching.
You know what I'm saying? That's
So,
a good one.
definitely be
so you know, I'm gonna give it to Tiger, man. He deserves it.
I'm gonna go with Bryce Harper for winning the home run derby
At home.
at home because
Mm-hmm.
motherfucker had to win something with that 214 batting average. Okay, you gotta get the man something.
He had to get the. I think he had to get the fans.
So he won home run derby and Smack Talk Player of the Week this week. Good job, bro.
Go ahead, yeah, go ahead and raise your hand.
Come
up
to the
sky.
north side on 3. Ready? Right.
190 million. That's it. That's all you getting.
All right, yeah.
And a pack of Skittles.
And you can eat at any restaurant for free.
I got Manny Machado. I got to give it up to him because he finally got out of a dying franchise to go and show that he is capable of winning. You know, because they had the 2 years, I think it was about 3 years ago or so that they were competing in that division, and then after that they just gave up all hope. And he don't deserve it.
Right.
He's quiet about his stuff. He's not one of the players where he's like, I want to get out of here. He's not demanding trades. He's not being
It was
arrogant.
just inevitable. He
Yeah.
wasn't fighting.
It
inevitable.
shows
He was
right
and
there.
he said it best. I think they interviewed him before the All-Star game or something. He's like, I just want to play baseball. That's
Yeah.
what he wants to do. He's like, you know, he wants to win. Of
He
course.
wants to play-
Everyone
like, he wants to go to the playoffs. He
I-
wants to live
I give
longer
him
the
Player of the
season.
Week because you know what, good for him.
It was
Right.
almost like they preluded it in the All-Star game. He's taking pictures with everybody
Yeah.
and like he's making sure to take pictures with the Dodgers players.
Hey.
It was like, fuck, man, he's going to the Dodgers.
I think it was like the day before the
Yeah, it was
All-Star
like-
game
it was
during the
on the
derby.
field.
They was
Yeah.
talking about. Yeah, I
on
know
the
what you're
field
saying, but I think
Really?
they were just trying to
Yeah, bro,
finalize
since
it.
they
Like,
took away the pressure of the All-Star game counting for the World
for-
Series,
yeah.
a lot of the players were mic'd up. And
Yeah, I saw
Yeah,
that. I
yeah,
saw
yeah,
that. I saw that. I
I
saw
mean, the
that.
one dude went up to bat, took a picture with the ump, and put his phone in his pocket.
Yeah, I
and
saw
then went
that.
to play,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah,
so like, it
it's-
was a lot.
it
I
was-
like that vibe.
It's more
Yeah, I
laid
did.
back.
I liked
It's
it
what
too.
it should be. You play, you know, you got
Right.
vote in.
Have
Just
that
make it
fun.
easy.
Make
It
it
shouldn't
fun.
be
Play-
that competitive.
And I think players should have like 2 at bats at most.
It should be like
You
an
shouldn't be
NBA
playing
All Stars,
Javi
yo.
Baez
Everybody
until
having
16.
fun. Everybody just,
Yeah.
you know.
There's better
I mean,
second baseman.
Right.
The only reason I watched it was because it was on TV. To be completely,
Honestly, I was
I
out
really
of
don't.
town.
I don't
I
care
was out
for
of town.
All-Star
That's
games.
why I had to watch.
I don't care for any sports All-Star games. No, nothing because usually
I like
honestly,
the NBA ones. That's probably
the
the
one
best
that I
one.
actually am more impressed about is the MLS because the MLS will take their All-Stars and then they'll play a European soccer team that is very good. So
Oh,
it's
really?
kind of competitive because you're like, all right, we'll see the best of America, which we
Americans,
all
yeah.
know USA soccer sucks, but you see them play against a Real Madrid. You know, so it's not an entire.
I never knew that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what they do for the All Star because I mean, in all reality, you got to pick a lot of players for each side
Right.
in MLS, and at that point in time, you're getting team players that probably aren't that good.
Nah, they washed up
to
players
where
from
people won't
internationals.
watch it.
Yeah.
So you got to make it interesting, and they play it, and I like that. So I think that's the most interesting, probably the only one that I'll ever really try to catch is that one.
All right. What
you
about
got,
you, Wes?
Wes?
I was going with Tiger. I just think it was.
I mean,
Just
it's not
be-
a long
for him
shot.
to-
Like, to break it down for people that don't really watch golf, so obviously you know Tiger Woods hurt, made some fucked up decisions, kind of never really thought he was going to come back from golf. This year he's had a couple top 10 finishes. He's playing his 3rd major out of 3 this year. That's a big step for Tiger. Yeah, he's not winning, and people are like, well, he's not winning.
He
Well,
finally competing
it's
again.
not
though.
about golf. He's
He's just hanging in there.
3rd place. You know what I'm saying? Right now in the Open. I mean, he wins this one. That puts him up to 15 majors. He's not going to sniff 18 at all, but it's still exciting to.
When Tiger Woods
See.
plays his best, golf is at a little slightly bit better. I mean, it is
Arguably, yes.
Yeah.
'Cause some of these newer players are exciting. too.
right. I know. I'm not saying that it's not exciting sports, but like when Tiger Woods is playing,
Tiger.
Tiger Woods, y'all.
Hey, we know why you ain't been winning. Let's keep it real.
Yep.
What you call it?
We know why you ain't been winning. Why he ain't been with it, Aaron? No, don't say that.
I don't.
You know, he
You saw it clear.
You know, him and his wife split up, and he was going through a real tough time. You know, he's recently found Jesus, and that's what's getting him straight. You know,
I feel you.
but he needs to go back to what he was doing.
Need to go back to what he know.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, real
Listen,
shit.
man, we really appreciate y'all listening.
Yeah, thank you all the followers.
Oh yeah, well, what you call it? AK West, appreciate y'all coming in. Like
thanks
always.
for having me. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Come back
We're
anytime.
gonna have Jesse step in for me and Wes and talk NHL.
Yeah, we want to talk some NHL. Please stay tuned and everything. Yo, welcome back to Smack Talk. We decided to get ourselves into some little NHL. We got Jesse here. Me and Joe stayed and everything. AK and Wes is out. So let's get into some NHL, yo. I'm actually kind of curious of what's going on out there.
Appreciate you, sir,
No,
bringing
for
us
sure.
in.
For
Special
sure.
shout out to Wesley for coming out on the show this week.
Much respect.
AK for showing up. It's been like 3 weeks in a row. We're gonna start this streak.
Yeah. We'll see if we keep it consistent, yo.
But Jesse, he's our stat guy. He helps us out a lot behind the scenes. He's our hockey fan in the group. None of us really pay attention to hockey unless the Blackhawks are relevant.
Pretty much.
And they're not.
They're not at
And I'll
all.
be the first to say it. I'm not gonna sit here and say, "Oh, I was a Blackhawks fan." No. About 2010, I think I started being a fan.
When
But,
they're after the first cup, yeah.
we're bringing him on to kind of give you hockey fans a touch about some things. I know we don't really talk too much hockey, so we try to get to it every once in a while for you guys. What's going on in the offseason of hockey? NBA free agency is so overtaking of the summer that hockey just gets pushed to the side. Like,
Yeah, I
it's
think.
nothing, so
I think that
what's
the
going
casual
on over
fans
there?
normally don't really mind free agency, but the big signing this year has been John Tavares and Erik Karlsson. John Tavares, and I don't know if you guys have heard of him.
I know the name.
Yeah.
I know the name.
What team are they going to?
He just signed a 7-year contract with the Maple Leafs. He
7
was,
years?
Yes, he was on the New York Islanders, and he's always been a consistent top 10 player of the league. Not very known though.
How much for the 7 years?
I believe I think it's like around like $8 million a year, which
7
is
or 8 million a year.
which is pretty high for a top player in the league.
Yeah.
Normally, if you're looking at like Sidney Crosby, you're normally looking at like $10 million.
Yeah.
And also Erik Karlsson, who's one of the best defenders in the league with the Ottawa Senators and their current garbage fire that they're having as a franchise.
Is it just a rebuild, or are they just
Their owner
don't know yet?
is very cheap and has been just throwing away players that are asking for money.
Right.
And
Now is hockey?
Yeah.
Now let me ask you this: is hockey a sport where you have to go through the traditional rebuild like NBA and MLB, where you gotta kind of suck?
You gotta
oh
watch
yeah,
out
there's
everybody.
major tanking in the league. I mean, I can tell you that Buffalo has been in that tanking process for upwards of probably like 10 years now. The
Jeez.
Rangers have just started. Carolina has been in that.
Okay.
Vancouver, Arizona, Edmonton just got out of that. They just got McDavid. That's brought them up somewhat.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a good where it's not as much relevant as the NBA, but there
Because
are
it-
still
yeah.
there's
It's
still
something
It's
science
because
stuff.
I mean, like I've said, I've referred to hockey as a dying sport, and you kind of proved me wrong just because of the stats and everything that you
Yeah.
pulled up. I mean, but it's definitely a sport that unfortunately gets kicked to the curb.
It's less than the
Yeah, in the United States, it's very much the
Right.
the fourth. Where in
Right.
Canada, it's
number one
It's number
by
one. It's
far.
the football and baseball. And
But like, if
basketball.
that's the case, man, why can't none of the Canadian teams ever like make that stride?
It's-
You think that it being such a major sport out there.
and that's a good question. I mean, the last Canadian team was the Canadians in '93, so it's been upwards of 25 years.
Right.
And it's just been a lot of management. The commissioner of the league has been very against bringing teams back into Canada, to where if you're looking at Arizona, there's been constant talks of relocation with them, and
Right.
Carolina back to maybe Quebec or any other place that in Canada they would be open to, and that's been denied. And just it's just been a patch to where each Canadian team hasn't been really good enough or shown the consistency to go in. So like the last Canadian team to be in the final is probably Vancouver in 2011,
See, I was about to
and
say
they lost
Vancouver,
in
but I
Boston.
didn't- I
So
can't think.
there's been Canadian
Yeah,
teams that
into
have been
playoffs.
good enough to go to the finals. Just no one's made
Just
that
don't
step.
dominate. So now those two free agents pickups that you mentioned earlier, what do they mean for the respective clubs that they signed to?
Well, for Toronto, it instantly makes them probably like the favorite for the Stanley Cup, other than the Tampa Bay Lightning. We're still waiting for Erik Karlsson to sign. We don't know if he is going to stay with the Ottawa Senators or make that sign. There was a big fiasco with his teammate, apparently, that Mike Hoffman which is Erik Karlsson's teammate on the Ottawa Senators, is claiming that Erik Karlsson's fiance was claiming that Matt
Lord.
Hoffman's girlfriend was harassing her and stalking her and abusing her, so that they made restraining orders, so they had to trade Matt Hoffman out to the Florida Panthers.
That's
And
some
that's
hot.
been like the talk of the town.
That's a hot
recently.
take. Why is that now ESPN? Like,
Yeah,
real
so
probably yeah.
so no one really knows where Erik Karlsson's going. Big talks are probably to Dallas or to Tampa, which if he does go to Tampa, that would probably make them the favorite.
So he's a free agent right now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought he was getting traded or something.
Now let's switch it over to local. Let's switch it over to the Blackhawks. Is there anything that they're doing that they need to do, that they should do,
That they haven't done
what,
yet.
what needs to be done from your perspective as a hockey fan and a Blackhawks fan to get them back to where everybody in Chicago is now a Blackhawks fan again?
Well, the big thing that I want to address right now is the Hossa trade.
Yes.
I don't know if you want
Thank
to know,
you, by
but
the way, Hossa.
yes, thank you
That
to
was
Hossa.
like, I don't mean to
for,
interrupt you, but like
Oh,
from
yeah.
the outside looking in, that's like arguably one of the most meaningful free agent signings to Chicago sports as a whole. I mean,
He won all
Hossa brought
three
that
with us,
team
right?
from.
he was ring chasing in Detroit, comes to Chicago, right?
He was originally in Pittsburgh in 2008. They lose to the Red Wings, so he goes to the Red Wings, and then they lose to Pittsburgh in 2009. So we went to two straight Stanley Cup
teams that-
finals and
yeah.
lost both.
So like, and it's crazy because like you think hockey, number 4 sport in America, but to Chicago, I mean, as a whole city, if
Oh,
you're
man,
invested
it
in
was-
Chicago sports.
it was amazing.
You know, that
Marian Hossa.
bringing Marian Hossa was not the reason we won the 3 rings, but it had a huge part to play.
It brought that veteran leadership that
You
Kane
know
and
what I
Taze
mean?
needed.
Yeah.
Because
And
I seen the other day that Marian Hossa, greatest free agent signing in Chicago sports history, and I stopped. And I thought about it, and I'm like,
When you had to think about it.
yeah,
Why-
what-
Who was
Golly
next?
gee.
Who was next after that? Dennis Rodman. You know, like a real talk. Like Dennis
Yeah.
Rodman was a free agent, and then he was a great free agent signing. So
yeah, Hossa's a for sure Hall of Famer, but
standard.
I found out on Instagram, and I was just going to say, like, the amount of shit that Hawks fans gave Stan Bowman for this trade was on a completely different level than anything I've
You want me
ever
to tell
seen.
you why?
go ahead.
Because fucking Chicago fans are ignorant.
True.
They
and-
don't understand that you have to do things that you don't want.
But Hossa was never going to play again,
right.
and it was obvious
I
to
knew
that
that
fact.
he was having injury
Last
troubles
year,
and everything.
yeah, he had a skin condition with his equipment
Right.
that he knew, and he said that I will never play in the NHL again. Chicago, with the weird cap rules with the NHL, that if Hossa retired, Chicago would have to keep that $5 million cap
On the
hit
books.
on the books.
Right.
So, and that hurt their team with the free agent signings, and that's probably why they missed the playoffs, along with Kays and Tane's big contracts that we've already mentioned. But this is a good deal, I would say, to get Hossa's contract out, which a lot of fans did not realize.
They don't understand it.
And they didn't realize that he didn't play at all last year.
Right.
And so they were very upset with Stan Bowman, which other people said that the stuff that he got rid of, they got rid of our top prospect, Vinny Hinostroza, which I don't know you guys, but probably don't know him at all, but he was a really
Not a clue.
Zero.
a,
Ain't a problem. Sorry,
problem.
you wanna tell
You're
us?
here.
Ain't a problem.
Ain't a problem. You want to tell us
a
right
big
now?
prospect. A third, we get Marcus Kruger back, which he's been a good third line center for us. I think it's a good pickup, and a few prospects in a 5th round pick. So normally this is just a cap dump for Chicago. Arizona normally is nowhere near the cap limit, so it's a good pickup for them. They get some good prospects and a good pick.
I seen this Matt Dumba. I think he said his name.
Dumbest time with the Wild.
Yeah, resign. How big was that for them?
That's also, I was gonna mention that with some other free agent signings.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. What the defensive core for Minnesota, with that already solidified, they have a good chance to build up higher. I mean, the Central Division is already the hardest division in the NHL, and I was gonna say that if we expect Chicago to make the playoffs, And
gotta
some
go through
fans
them.
say that, oh, yeah, it's just going to be a bounce back season. Chicago finished last in the Central Division. They finished.
So anything above that is a bounce back.
They finished 15 points behind Dallas. They were very much off 500. And if you're going to think that maybe four teams win in the Central, you got Nashville, that's going to be a guaranteed. You got Winnipeg, that's going to be a guaranteed. St. Louis, with the trades and free agent signings they made, they're already guaranteed. And then you have Minnesota, that's on the up cup. Colorado, if Nathan McKinnon has a good season. And then Dallas, if Tyler Seguin and Jamie Benn have a comeback season. Where does that leave Chicago?
Right.
And the biggest question mark that's still going to be on Chicago till we have no clue is Corey Crawford. Because with that concussion and the vertigo that he's still suffering from, we don't know if he'll even ever play again.
Really?
Corey Crawford is last year had a Vezina contending season, which was like the best goaltender in the league, and was lights out for the first half of Chicago. That was the only reason that they were up in the Central Division. After Crawford's hit, and I know we had that good story with Glass and the emergency goaltender, and that was a really big thing in ESPN and people talking about, just this normal guy being a goaltender.
You know what I mean?
He wasn't
But
gonna.
it's not going to happen, and they've already prepared for that. They signed Cam Ward, who's been a good veteran goaltender for the Carolina Hurricanes. He won the Cup in 2007, but he is very much off their prime. They've signed Chris Kunitz, who has been a veteran leader. He played along Sidney Crosby in their wins with the Stanley Cup, and then he also moved to Tampa. But he's also very past his prime. It's a very old and slowing down Hawks in a league where right now it matters if you're young and fast more than ever. And I think the Hawks have not realized that yet, and they're still hoping on the fact of we have this band, we have this core that's won 3 cups, we can still do it.
Yeah,
Right.
See, and that's why, I don't necessarily, average fans, I'm some sports I'm an average fan, but, the average fan doesn't look at the business side.
No.
You know what I mean? Sometimes, you have to rebuild. You know what I mean? You have to go through it. And then you got to also think as fans, they're not thinking that Kane and Taze are taking up a third of the salary cap.
A 25%.
You know, a 25. So they're taking a quarter of the salary cap for
2 players.
Yeah, we got our core together. That's cool. But you can't win with 5 guys.
And as much as people would hate to say it, I think Patrick Kane is entering his prime now, and he'll probably be a consistent point-per-game scorer.
Yeah.
Entering his prime now?
I would say that last year and this year, he's
He had
shown.
a solid year.
He's shown a very consistent year. He had an insane 30-game point streak 2 years ago, which is showing that he's now that elite goal scorer that he was supposed to be.
Known.
And then now that Taze has always been known as a defensive guy, and it's very questioning on whether he deserves that $10 million when you're only getting subpar offense, and now that his defense is on the decline,
Not worth it.
I mean, he is in my eyes a first ballot Hall of Famer,
Oh, of
and
course.
he is probably NHL listed him as one of the greatest 100 players of all time. I would say so, just because of his leadership and his ability to play in the playoffs. But as of this moment right now, if things don't get better, it's either Taze or a complete rebuild.
Yo, not to come off track, but I just saw this. OV won Best Male Athlete at the ESPYs. First ever NHL player to do that.
Hey, man.
I think that's just because of his cup and
how
the
long he's been-
absolute bender that he went on.
Bender.
I'm just
Certified.
going in every
He was showing. I know.
day.
I think we talked about this right when it happened, but he's showing me the celebration videos and this dude's sleeping with the cup, showering with the cup, eating
Taking
his
keg
oatmeal
stands
out
out
of
of
the
the
I saw the
cup.
keg
eating his
stand.
oatmeal and cereal out of the cup. Bro, you just I don't
And
blame
she,
him.
I thought
bro.
you only get to
I
keep the
don't-
cup for like 2 days or
It's
something
Alex
like that.
Ovechkin.
I
If
just,
he
Alex
wants-
Ovechkin.
if he wants to keep it for 3 months out of the off season, and there's only 4 months, he's gonna get.
I
it,
just
okay?
want to know, cause I was told that it
He's
bounces
gonna tell
back.
his other players, no, y'all get 17 hours with it. Make
Yeah,
sure
there
you
was
pass
a
it
there was a
along.
meme that because every player gets their 1 day with the cup,
Yeah,
that
that's
they
what I
can
was-
bring it, and it was gonna be Ovi with the cup and say, "Oh, you want to hang out?"
All right, so you got anything
okay.
else on the hockey tip for us over here?
No, I would say that pay attention to Toronto and Tampa, those are going to be your
When do we
big.
got training camp and like the season starts?
Training camp's happening right now. If you
Okay.
go follow the Blackhawks on Snapchat, they do pretty cool things where you can see like all the young
I actually
prospects
follow them, yeah.
and play.
Okay.
Yeah, that's really cool. Preseason starts in September, late September, so the season's very long away. But the big waiting moment right now is where Erik Karlsson's going to go because of that. He's that top 3 defenseman that he is in the league. Whatever team that he is on, it instantly
Watch out for
catapults to them into a playoff contention. So if he does go to a Dallas, that pretty much eliminates the Hawks from entering the playoffs in my eyes.
Right.
And if they join Tampa, then I think it's going to be a shootout between Tampa and Toronto.
All right, well, I mean, I could definitely tell you, like, once the season gets started, we'd be more than welcome to have you come on the
hell
air and kind of give everybody our hockey view. As for you guys, the listeners, please give some feedback about what you guys think of us doing, you know, a little hockey section here and there. Any feedback would be great as well.
Yeah.
Like I
Yes,
said,
please.
appreciate to AK for showing up,
For once
Leslie
on,
for showing
consistent.
up, everybody behind the scenes, Lamar, Brandon, Zach's not here this week, but you know, we just follow us, share, like, do whatever you guys can. DM us if you guys want topics. Add us on Twitter. I mean,
Smack Talk
do anything.
Podcast.
Get more involved so we can kind of take this show to the next level.
Yeah, let us know.
Appreciate D-Mob for hosting in and
Always.
filling in.
Always.
Good thing it's at his house. He doesn't got to go very
Nope.
far.
After this, yo, I'm about to chill.
But, so this is us from Smack Talk today. Y'all have a good week, and we'll see you next week.
Peace.
Oh, get that time.